right, lots going on. Momo's here. Brian's here. Is Laura back there? I can't see.
Oh, Laura's out today.
Okay.
She has to go fix her knee a little bit.
Oh, that's right. She had knee surgery. Ramona has changed her pants.
Yes. I'm no longer totally crossed out.
Right. By the way, I'm going to read
You
something
get that
from
reference, yeah?
Georgie Porgy on Twitter. I just love Momo. Admitting on the air that your pants are on backwards is so normal and so hilarious. Couldn't agree more,
Yes.
George. Made my day that you admit it.
Totally.
And by the way, I needed my day made. Did any of you? So it's Brian, Greg, Ramona,
Yep.
me. I know Greg didn't watch. Did you watch any of the debate?
I watched the lowlights afterwards.
Okay, Brian, did you watch any of it?
I caught bits and pieces.
All right,
yes.
I'm not kidding.
Oh, my God.
I'm not kidding. I needed to watch 3 episodes of The West Wing just to
Yes.
get that bad taste
Yes.
out of my mouth.
I watched Top
so
Chef
you,
last night.
You putting your pants on backwards got me in exactly the mood that I needed to be in. So there is we're in this phrase. I mean, really, over the next 72 hours. Anything could break at any minute.
Yeah.
A lot of it is going to involve the Clippers because they hold a lot. Paul George is kind of a linchpin in all this.
Yeah. The Clippers and the Warriors seem somewhat linked.
Right.
Because of Chris Paul.
And also because of Paul George.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people, including Brian Windhorst, who we really like and trust, think that Paul George and the Clippers and the Warriors could happen. Here's Windy on Get Up.
The effect that Kawhi Leonard has had on Paul George is more his contract. Kawhi signed a 3-year deal. To this point, the Clippers have only been willing to offer Paul George about what they gave Kawhi Leonard, 3 years at a little bit less than the max contract. And Paul George, frankly, wants 4 years. He wants a full-out max. And there are a number of teams out there, I am told, that are prepared to give it to him, who are prepared to trade for him. One of those teams potentially is up the coast in Golden State. Golden State is big fish hunting. Remember, last trade deadline, they put a call in about LeBron James. They are sniffing around big deals. If Paul George is willing to leave, they would like to be an option for him. But any of these places that Paul would need to go via trade would have to get worked out with the Clippers and would have to get worked out by Saturday. The Clippers, I think, are in a position where they kind of want to call Paul's bluff that he would actually want to leave his hometown of L.A. So that's one of the most interesting things to watch in terms of stare downs between now and this weekend.
Okay, so now that you know that the Warriors are interested in Paul George, that Paul George could go, the Sixers could sign with the Clippers, it's kind of important, Ramona, for him to pick a team, for lack of a better description, or make a decision, because then it opens you. Where does Klay Thompson go? Where does Chris Paul go? Where does KCP go? Mm-hmm. What do you know about Paul George at this point?
Okay. I still think there's a good chance Paul resigns with the Clippers.
I do
think
too.
They call his bluff, and then he has to make a choice. Also, and this is probably what I should have said first. The Clippers have to participate in a trade.
Right. But they would if he wanted to leave, because then
why?
Because they get nothing for him.
So what?
They don't want anything for him?
If they take money back,
right,
now you're in the second apron. But with a lesser team, like if they're getting something really good, okay, if somebody wants to throw 3 first-round picks at him, or if the Warriors want to give him Kuminga or some
Why
great
wouldn't
prospect.
the Warriors give him Kuminga? He does everything Kuminga does, but he does it better.
Kuminga's 23 or whatever he is, and he's a much lower salary, and he's a great prospect. Kuminga, to me, from what whenever I talk about Kuminga, he's basically untouchable. So you can ask for Kuminga. I don't even know if they would trade Podziemski.
If you're the Clippers.
So if you're just going to get back Andrew Wiggins,
right,
and a first and maybe Moody or something, but then that makes you in the second apron, where now you lose your mid-level. Now you can't do any trades. Now you're looking at a future where
so let's play that out. All right, let's say the Clippers decide that if Paul goes to turns down their offer and they just let him go. Okay, where does Paul go?
I think they call his bluff, and he has to go to Philly. Okay, because I think Orlando's going to get KCP. I don't think they'll give him 4 years.
All right, so stay with me here. In using your scenario, Paul George goes to Philly, KCP goes to Orlando. Does that mean Klay could end up in Denver?
I was going to say the Clippers.
But think about this, Greg. Klay Thompson in Denver with Jokic and Jamal Murray. Is that not a huge pickup for the Nuggets?
Huge.
It would be a great pickup for him, especially. Do we know what's going on with MPJ? Like, is he going to stay?
No, but they could
Denver?
trade him. But here's the thing:
Because that
Denver
could fill that type of role of a 3-point shooter.
Denver does. If KCP leaves, and I think he might.
I think he might.
Denver has a money problem. They can't max everybody. They're about to max Jamal Murray.
Right.
That's going to happen over the next few days.
And then they just traded Reggie Jackson, who was a really good backup for them.
Jokic is obviously a max guy. They pay Greg, MPJ, who Greg brought up is Michael Porter Jr., who is a 6'10 guy who shoots threes and is really valuable in a league where you need threes. They pay him like a max guy. He doesn't quite make the max, but he makes like $120 million. They can't pay KCP, I don't think.
I don't think they can. I think they're prepared to just go into next year with Christian Braun in that role.
Okay, but now.
Christian Brown, sorry.
But he spells it like Braun. Everybody makes that mistake.
I get it wrong all the time.
You're not the only one.
Yeah.
Play-by-play guys all over the league make that mistake.
Every time I say it, I'm like, no, it's Brown.
That's like Monica Madden, who's at Beverly Hills Ortho, spells her name differently than that, and it's like I got to remember to say it right. So here's my roundabout way of saying it. If he goes to the Nuggets, he's probably going for around the mid-level or a little. Now, just stay with me. I know I'm pipe dreaming.
I know.
And obviously you know who I work with. If he signs for that, okay? If he signs for, let's say, $15 million, Clay.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm pipe dreaming here, but stay with me.
Okay.
There is a scenario where I think the Lakers could get in this Clay thing, and here's how it would work. I don't know if it'll happen. I'm probably dreaming. But D'Angelo Russell opts out. We're going to find out about that in the next 24 to 36 hours, okay? I think D'Angelo has to decide by tomorrow.
Paul has to decide by tomorrow as well.
Okay, so D'Lo opts out. LeBron opts out, okay? LeBron re-signs, but he takes a small amount under the max, $12 million under the max. That's all he needs, okay? LeBron's got $1 billion.
Yeah.
They go to LeBron and they say, hey, if you take a little less, $12 million less, we can get Klay Thompson. And with D'Lo leaving and LeBron taking that left, the Lakers would have the full mid-level, and they get Klay. What do you think?
Could happen.
Ha! Hear that, Bergman?
It could totally happen.
There is a chance. I should have put on my Mandy's outfit for this.
There's a way.
Same
thing for the Clippers. If Paul George leaves, they have their full mid-level, and they can throw that at Klay. How much? I mean, obviously, Paul's a better player than Klay Thompson at this stage, but how much better?
Man, can you imagine if we get Klay? You're going to hear me celebrating from Manhattan Beach. Bergman, you're going to hear me in North Hollywood. I will be so excited because, think about this. What's the one thing that the Lakers fell woefully short of this year? Threes. They shot fewer threes than anybody else in a league that demands threes.
But
every time AD and LeBron get doubled, instead of kicking it out to Jared Vanderbilt or Cam Reddish, they're kicking it to Klay Thompson. And now they're kicking it to Dalton Knecht. They're kicking it to guys who shoot 40% from three, and I think it would be. And plus, how fun would it be? You talk about this LeBron-Bronny thing. Yeah. How fun would it be to have Michael calling Klay's games? Yeah. And by the way, if you've never heard Michael call one of Klay's games, he refuses to compliment him. Like, I'll go, Michael, your son is 11 for 12, and he's just killing the Lakers. And Michael will go, oh, yeah, Ireland? How many rebounds does he have?
Yeah.
You know, it's like a whole performance art thing. It would be super cool. Now, I don't think it's going to happen. I really don't.
Yeah.
But like you said, it could.
There's a chance.
Which is why all these dominoes are connected to each other.
Yeah, they're all connected, and it all's going to happen fast.
Oh, man. I love this time of year.
Like this weekend, it's all going to happen fast.
Like, at any point, Bergman could sound the breaking news sounder, and we could have something that changes our lives. That one, right there.
Nothing's happened.
That's okay.
News.
Wait, I got one. I could do one. This is from. It's not exactly breaking, but it was from earlier today, and it's still very important. According to Adrian Wojnarowski, Golden State and Chris Paul intend to move back the date to guarantee the $30 million on his salary for next season. Deadline was originally Friday.
Today.
Now it will be Sunday. This gives the Warriors
that's
time
no fun. I wanted it to be today.
Exploring trades.
Okay, but it
that's
will be,
interesting though.
It will be, and you know, Momo, because you've covered. Matter of fact, you were the one I was playing golf in Idaho when Kevin Durant signed with the Warriors, and you called me on the golf course.
Yeah.
And you went, we were texting, I think, and you said, it just happened.
Yep.
And I knew exactly what you were talking about. That's this Sunday.
Yeah.
This Sunday. Greg, I always say, somebody big, a big name, is going to move, and we don't know who it is. All right? Last year was Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis. There was a story that De'Aaron Fox is going to turn down an offer. Paul George could move. That is this Sunday is the day where you're gonna get this news, and Monday here is gonna be crazy. But things could break today.
Should we do a Domingo Gigante like we used to do with Sábado Gigante?
Yeah, Mason won't show up. Yeah.
It's not back yet.
Yeah, it is an important day unless you're in Hawaii. Right. All right. Let me tell you about Southern California Toyota dealers. Toyota and the Lakers have been in business together for 48 years. 48 years. For as long as I can remember. Why? Because year after year, Toyota delivers quality, reliability, and simply the best vehicles on the road. And right now, brand new inventory is waiting for you. Choose from an amazing selection of cars, trucks, crossovers, SUVs, and EVs. Great deals waiting for you now. All you got to do is see your Southern California Toyota dealers or visit Toyota.com. Toyota, we make it easy. Coming up next, you'll hear from Rob Pelinka. A lot of hate for the Lakers draft pick yesterday when I don't think there should be any. You'll hear from Rob coming up next. Momo and Fermace. I'm John Ireland, ESPN LA.
Hey, you ready to watch the road to Copa with Beto Duran and Mario Ruiz? Join them at the Mercado Gonzalez Northgate Market in Costa Mesa for 2 separate watch parties. Mexico versus Ecuador on Sunday, June 30th at 4 p.m. and the USA versus Uruguay on Monday, July 1st at 5 p.m. Head to ESPNLA.com to enter for your chance to win reserved seating and a bottle of tequila mandala at every table. Ooh, that's good. Going to be a party at the Northgate Gonzalez Market. Every visit has a story. Find a store near you at northgatemarket.com.
Starting Monday, September 9th, there's a new fall lineup on 710 ESPN, and it means the 9-hour LA Sports Mega Block begins an hour earlier. Even more live and local LA Sports Talk on 710 ESPN. The Travis and Sliwa Show will start at 9 a.m. Mason and Ireland move back to noon to 3, and Shidano and Cappy start the LA Afternoon Drive Takeover at 3 p.m. And then at 6 p.m., we are the destination for LA Sports. It's a new fall lineup on 710 ESPN, and it begins Monday, September 9th.
June 30th, Copa America, Mexico, Ecuador. But that's in Phoenix. Mercado Northgate is taking care of you. We're going to have a VIP party down in Costa Mesa. Listen all week long to ESPN LA to figure out how you can get invited. Party, we're going to get going, and we're going to cheer on the 3. USA, USA. That's what you're going to be chanting July 1st when the red, white, and blue takes on Uruguay in Copa America. And where you're going to watch it? At the Mercado Northgate in Costa Mesa. Find out how you can get VIP access all week long on ESPN LA.
Hey guys, it's Cappy here, and let me talk to you about this issue of dealing with your homeowner's insurance. So your home floods, right? You have a big giant flood at your house, and you realize that the insurance adjuster is trying to pay you so little that you won't be able to repair the damage.
On 710
that is
ESPN.
when
Welcome
you
to
call
the family.
Avner
Brand
Gat.
new partnership.
Avner
We're
Gat
excited
is a
to have
public
the
insurance
Kings
adjuster
right
who is
here,
on
the home
your
of
side.
the
Look,
Los Angeles Kings.
you can try and negotiate with the insurance company yourself. I've tried. You're going to find out very quickly it is not that simple. Avner Gat and his team negotiate on your behalf to make sure you're
the
getting
Kings
the best possible
are
outcome,
back on
not the
710
insurance company.
ESPN. Believe it or not,
He and his
I did
team have been
pregame
dealing
for
with
the
insurance
Kings
companies for so many
5
years. It's all
years
they
ago.
do.
Damn,
They've got
I'm
the
old.
experience.
Luke
They've got the industry
Robitaille,
know-how
the rest of the
you
Kings
need on your
organization
side.
couldn't
Now,
be
some
more
of these folks
excited.
used to
Go
work for
Kings,
insurance
go.
companies before
Go
they joined Avner's
Kings,
team.
go.
Nothing
Avner
like
Gat
live
himself
hockey.
has 20
Nothing
years
like
of
seeing it in
experience
person.
in this
Nothing like
industry.
watching it on TV.
Avner Gat
Nothing
has
like
one of the
listening to it on the
largest
radio.
teams of
And we've got them
professional,
on ESPN LA.
licensed public
Go Kings,
adjusters
go.
in California.
So excited
And yes,
the LA
the
Kings
size
have
is
found
important.
a new home right
Avner
here on
has
710
unique winning
ESPN.
recipes
Can't wait
for
to see you on the
handling
ice.
homeowners insurance
I
claims.
want to congratulate
No one,
the
and I
LA
mean no one,
Kings.
messes
You
around
are
with
now
Avner
on
Gat
the
and his
greatest
team.
sports radio
Call
station in
Avner Gat,
America, 710.
818-917-5256.
Guess what? Now I get to be one of the ice girls at a Kings game.
818-917-5256.
Go Kings, go. Go Kings, go. Go Kings, go.
AVNERGAT, AvnerGat.com. You call Avner Gat, 818-917-5256. Avner takes the call himself. Hello!
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
It is Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN. Don't get it twisted, yo. The most downloaded sports radio show in Los Angeles. The podcast, that is.
Mason and Ireland, the #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. The #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. And we thank all of our podcast listeners for that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason and Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
That's what I'm talking about. What's the breaking news?
There's breaking news, and you are gonna love it.
Okay,
I
good.
absolutely love it. According to the Los Angeles Lakers, Dalton Knecht has picked his number.
Oh.
His number is 4.
Knecht 4.
Oh!
How great is that?
That's
okay, so
great.
yesterday I was saying to Michael, he said, how are you going to call Dalton Knecht's three-pointers? I said, well, we can say Knecht 3, but that's not the name of the game. Now I can say Knecht 4.
Yes.
Love it. Most famous Laker to wear
Dalton
number 4.
Knecht's from
Momo
4.
is who?
From 3.
Rajon Rondo.
No.
No, come on now. Alex Caruso.
No.
Byron Scott.
Byron Scott is
Byron
the
Scott.
right answer.
I thought he was 3.
Also, who wore number 4?
Who?
Luke Walton.
Luke Walton did. You know,
Yeah.
I have all the people that have worn number 4.
I don't know numbers very well. I know Magic is
let's see if you
32.
can get him.
Caruso has.
Yes.
Walton has.
Yeah.
Let me think. See if
What
I
was
can think
Rondo?
I don't know if it has all of them, actually.
All right, so who else does it say?
So it also says Adrian Dantley. wore number
Yeah,
4.
great player.
Antoine Jameson wore
Oh,
number
yeah.
4.
Yeah, Antoine's
Okay.
a good dude.
Ron Harper wore
Yeah.
number 4.
Well, Ron Harper and Byron won about the
Yeah.
same amount of titles.
Joe Hutton.
Never heard of him.
Frankie King.
Okay.
Don't know who that is.
Ryan Kelly.
Ryan Kelly.
Ryan Kelly married to, you guys know this?
Bill Cowher's daughter.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, and that's all they have on this site.
So
but I think there
Dalton
may be more.
Knecht he has a chance to be in the Byron Scott Luke Walton group, but he's
Nice.
got to win a title.
Yeah.
Because Byron and Luke both won multiple
You know,
titles.
I was thinking about
Rondo
this.
won a title too.
The Lakers
Lonnie
drafted
Walker did,
like
too.
the one guy.
I love that number for him. That's
They
awesome.
drafted a Nepo baby and then the opposite of a Nepo baby.
All right, I'm glad you brought up Nepo babies because I wish I was one. I don't understand. I really don't.
You
I
wish
don't.
you were one.
I do.
Life would have been a lot easier.
I didn't get. Yeah, right.
You wouldn't have had to go to Texas.
Beaumont, Texas, Monroe, Louisiana. I wouldn't have to go to any of those
You
places.
would have gone straight here.
I would have gone. I would have done the Joe Buck.
Yeah.
Noah Eagle. I would have been right out of UCLA.
But don't you think it
into
made
the-
you scrappy?
Of course, but I see. I think people think, well, Nepo babies, they're not playing fair. There is no fair
There's
in
no
life.
fair. It's just the way it is.
Why do you think that, if you look at any TV news
Yeah.
station, okay, for whatever reason, it's old guys and young, attractive women, and so if you're a young, attractive woman, you can go right out of USC and on to Channel 2.
Yeah.
If you're a guy, you got to go do what I did. It's this thing with people up in arms about Bronny when he was taken with the 55th
Yes.
pick. I cannot stress this enough.
Yeah.
The 55th pick almost never makes it. It's a throwaway pick. All right?
But you can't say that. I don't mean to interrupt you.
No,
but you can't
please
say
do.
that. You can't say that because Bronny is going to make it on the team.
Yeah.
He is on the team. This has nothing to do with whether he can or cannot play, whether he goes to the G League or not. He is going to be on this bench,
Yeah.
and that is a certainty. So
Okay.
that's not about whether he
Okay.
makes it or not.
All right, so he's going to be on the bench. All right? Did it bother you last year that Colin Castleton was on the bench?
Absolutely not. And it's not about him.
Every team has guys that don't play.
I think, and it may just be me, but I don't care that Bronny was drafted at 55. Like, cool, draft Bronny at 55. I know nothing about his game besides the fact that he's
So
scored
what don't
4
you
points
like
a game.
about this?
I don't like what it means for the franchise in general and where they're going. It means that this is just another reason, because you say it all over and over again. It's what LeBron wants. So that now means for the next 3 years, sorry, Momo, for the next 3 years at least, while he is still LeBron is still a Laker, him and Clutch have control. And I think with a lot of fans, including myself, they don't want to be under that control anymore.
It does affect them with other players too, because if you're not a Clutch athlete, then you kind of wonder, where do you fit in? That's true. I've heard that from other players around the league. But wake up. This is how it was with Kobe. This is how it was with Shaq. This is how it was with Magic. Every star the Lakers have ever had has had control like this.
Yeah, Greg, when
it just
when
wasn't
Kobe,
as overt.
When Kobe,
I think it's the overtness that
right,
gets people
maybe.
upset.
But when Kobe was with us, and everybody loves Kobe, we had like 4 people on the payroll, all tied to him.
Yeah,
he had a trainer, he had a bodyguard, and this happens. Thanasis Antetokounmpo would not be in the NBA if his brother wasn't the best player on the Bucks. This happens. Woj said it yesterday. Woj said, "Don't come at me with nepotism because every franchise has it."
Jalen Brunson's dad is an assistant coach for the Knicks.
Sure, you have to do it sometimes.
Leon Rose's son is in the front office with him.
I'm not hating on Bronny James in the slightest. And by the way, Parker just told me he chose number 9 as his number.
Who?
Bronny James.
Okay. So you just made that up.
What?
The 4.
No. Dalton Knecht is number 4.
Bronny James is number.
Okay.
Bronny James
I was
is
like,
number 9.
did you just make up that number 4 thing? Okay.
No, Dalton Knecht is number 4. Bronny James is number 9.
Okay,
but
so it's like
nothing,
6.
So
but
Greg,
it's not hate towards Bronny.
I understand, but I want to try and change your mind that this is a bad thing, because I think you think it's a bad thing. Rob Pelinka was
I don't.
All right, Rob Pelinka was on with Spectrum Sports yesterday, and Mike Bresnahan asked him, "Why did you draft Bronny?"
Yeah.
All right, because you're getting some blowback here. Why did you take him? Here's what Rob said.
I think first and foremost, he is just a young man of high character and extraordinary work ethic. And those are foundational things as you build a culture. If you can find young players that are built on those pillars, the development can come. And I know J.J. Redick and his staff are already putting a plan around Bronny and how they want to develop him into an elite two-way player. He's 19 years old, so everyone's got to be patient, but the foundations are there for him to be an important player for years to come.
Okay, so the key thing he said there to me was he's 19 and we're going to develop him.
Mm-hmm.
Greg, Max Christie was 19 when the Lakers drafted him in the second round, and he was drafted higher than Bronny. Max was skinny, wasn't that good, didn't play. I'm telling you, folks, Max Christie can play.
Yeah.
And after 2 years, he's a better shooter now. He's bigger, he's stronger, he's faster. I'm not saying that Bronny is going to turn into Max Christie, but if he does, they took him with the 55th pick. Who cares?
It's like Marc Gasol. When they took Marc Gasol, do you know what he looked like?
Right, fat.
He was pudgy and totally out of shape, and he was in Barcelona, and he was not seen as a prospect at all. And then it turns out he worked on his game, and he turned into a great player.
Sure, and I think what other people, again, no problem with Bronny James sitting on the back of the bench. No problem with Bronny James being picked at 55. People are saying when you're comparing him to Max Christie, if Max Christie wasn't getting it done, he would be sent to the G League or he'd be shipped out.
Yeah.
Bronny is not going to go to the G League. He is not going to be shipped out.
No,
and that's what people are upset
Let
about.
me correct you about
Just
something.
like Thanasis on the bench for the Bucks.
Bronny can still go to the G League if he's not on a two-way.
He's not
he
going
just
to
has
go.
he just has to agree to it.
Right. Rich Paul already said he doesn't want him there.
But Rich Paul's not running the Lakers. Some people think he is, but the interesting. I think if I'm Bronny, my attitude is when I go in there, look, I'll do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make the team. So if you want me to go play in a G League game at 5 o'clock and then drive over here and be available for sitting on the bench, I'll do it. Whatever. My point is give him a chance. If you give him a chance, I think, and let him develop, I think he could turn himself into an NBA player. He's not yet.
Yeah.
But either is Thanasis, and nobody says anything about that.
Well, people do say something, but it's just in Milwaukee, so you don't hear it as much.
Right, and because the Lakers are the biggest brand in the league, a lot of people say that stuff. All right, when we come back, wheel of questions. We got a lot of stuff to get to. Dodgers open a series tonight against the lying, hating, bike-stealing Giants in San Francisco. Who's pitching tonight, Greg?
Tonight, I know it's Logan Webb and Parker. Help me out in my ear.
Okay, we'll look it up. We'll hit people with it when we get back.
It's Landon Knecht.
And he's been good.
He has been good.
Yeah, he's been good. And in case you're not noticing, Shohei's doing something that if he pulls it off.
He said beach balls out there, man.
Yeah, if he pulls it off, it hasn't happened since 1937.
Wow.
We'll tell you about that coming up, too. Mason in Ireland, Momo in for Mace, ESPN LA.
Hey, All-Star Friday night is right around the corner, and that means it's time again for our All-Star student nominations. Thanks to Rotolo Chevrolet and Capozio Buick GMC. If you know a student that is an All-Star in the classroom, in their sport, and in the community, go to ESPNLA.com to nominate your student. Parents, friends, family, teachers, and coaches can all participate in nominating an All-Star student. Go to ESPNLA.com today. Rotolo Chevrolet and Capozio Buick GMC. Come see what the fun is all about.
June 30th, Copa America, Mexico, Ecuador. But that's in Phoenix. Mercado Northgate is taking care of you. We're going to have a VIP party down in Costa Mesa. Listen all week long to ESPN LA to figure out how you can get invited. We're going to have a party, we're going to get going, and we're going to cheer on El Tri. USA, USA. That's what you're going to be chanting July 1st when the red, white, and blue takes on Uruguay in Copa America. And where are you going to watch it? At the Mercado Northgate in Costa Mesa. Find out how you can get VIP access all week long on ESPN LA.
Ireland here each weekday 1 to 4 p.m. You know what it's time for? What is this? It's time for Wheel of Questions. Producer Brian Cohen, are you ready with that wheel? Hit it, Jack.
All right, no Mace today. Oh, okay. This is Ramona. You were just talking about this. How you need to get some massage, some treatment. All right.
I'm overtraining a little.
Well, so do I, Greg. As you know, I overspend on massage chairs.
Yeah.
I have every brace. I have a Theragun with me at all times.
iSpot active.
Right, all of it. So, here's the latest thing, and I want you to tell me, should I get it or not?
Okay.
All right.
Got it.
Oh boy.
Pretty obnoxious.
Sounds pretty ridiculous.
All right, here we go. The Nike boot. Okay. That's not its official name, but they're going they have a boot that they've made in collaboration with HyperIce. HyperIce is the company that makes all the massage for your knees and your back.
It's my buddy Anthony Katz. Yeah.
Okay. And it's meant to supercharge warm up and cool down for active people. You pack it's got a thick midsole that powers the shoe, which allows for 3 different degrees of pressure and heat, adjustable across the left and right feet. It's like wearing a version of the HyperIce Normatec.
Yep.
Those puffy sleeves that inflate and swallow up your legs that you can actually walk around in, or having a robot knead at your feet and ankles. The shoe is big and clunky. If nothing else, it will make you a couple of inches taller, Momo. The rounded bends and lines of the space-age silhouette make it look like an Apple product. You can walk around in this boot just fine, but you wouldn't want to try chasing anyone down with them. There is not a price yet, but I would imagine the price is going to be in the neighborhood of $400 or $500. Do I get the Nike HyperIce boot?
Yeah, no brainer. Yeah.
No brainer.
Yeah,
no brainer.
Well,
Give me the money and stop wasting it.
This is so good for well, first of all, do you have to?
I'm showing
Is that
Momo
good for?
a picture
Is
of
it for cold and hot?
Yeah, whatever you want.
Oh, it's great. So it's like for everyone who has plantar fasciitis. Have you ever had plantar fasciitis?
Just a little, not major, but enough where I know it hurts.
Yeah, it hurts really bad. There's sometimes where you can't even train because you have that. And then you have a sprained ankle. You have when you go for a long walk, like everything. That's huge for recovery. Plus, you can just sit there watching TV with that on.
Right.
I don't think I'd walk around with it on, but
I'd wear it to the show. I would absolutely.
The whole time you're sitting here, you're getting a foot massage.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian, do you want to just take the money and split it between us? Can we
that's awesome.
get a nice dinner?
I don't know. I
feel like every NBA player is going to get that.
I'm kind of in. I might get my own pair.
Oh, no.
One of those right
Brian.
now sounds
that looks
so
pretty cool.
It does.
Man, I'm telling you,
I know the guy who owns this company, so I'll connect you.
You know the guy who owns HyperIce?
Yeah, he's all. Do you know his story?
You got a pet rock when you were a kid, right?
No,
his name is Anthony Katz. Okay. And he's married to this girl. Do you remember Lindsay Plummer from UCLA? She used to play.
Sounds familiar.
UCLA basketball.
Okay.
And he's just one of these like idea guys and stuff. So he used to work out, and he would see Kobe there, and Kobe was icing his legs and stuff. And after workouts, and he lives down in Orange County, and he goes, I could come up with something better than what you're doing, just packing your knees in ice.
He's in this story, Anthony Katz guy. They say he sees the Nike boot as a supplemental piece of footwear for before or after competition, recovery and pre-covery that gets the body closer to an optimal performance state and could help prevent injuries by warming up better for those who wear it.
Yeah.
Real question I have. How many things have you bought off of TV, like a made on TV, like this is a TV special thing?
Yeah, right.
QVC, whatever it happens to be.
2-word answer to that.
Yeah.
Too many.
Exactly. That's why you're buying
this.
Okay, that's why you're going for the Hyperfoot. So
Anthony Katz decided, I'm going to make, he understood surfing, so he got like the material that surfers use for their wetsuits, and then he created this like knee sleeve or whatever it is that has all the ice in it, but it's not real ice. It's like these ice pebbles or something, and it goes around your knee. And Kobe was like, try it out. This is like, I just made this up with like a weird wetsuit thing. And Kobe was like, this is great, man. You should make this at a higher scale. So this is how that company got started.
Greg, I'm so bad with stuff like this. I have the first generation Theragun, which sounds like a jackhammer. If you
But it
literally,
feels so good.
it's great. But like, you can't do it. I can't.
No.
I even feel guilty doing it in a hotel room. So then I just bit the bullet and bought 2 of the Theragun minis that are silent, and you can take those everywhere.
Yeah.
But the Theragun in a hotel room, any sound is loud in a hotel room.
Right, but
So
I
no
mean, I
matter
feel
what,
bad.
that's
Like,
don't feel bad. It's
I
a
mean,
hotel
it
room.
is an F
well, wait, I got
so,
Stu Lance next to me. I got to respect him, man.
Friday.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Greg, you're just opening a lot of doors there.
That's exactly what I'm trying to do, Momo.
Well, you know what the game changer is, Momo, for as much as you travel, because you're like me. You don't spend as many nights in hotels
Yeah.
as I do, but close. You
Yeah.
you probably spend 30, 40
Yeah,
nights
well, I
a
used
year.
to travel more, yeah.
Yeah. You got to travel. And anybody who travels for a living,
Yeah.
listen to me closely here. This is an absolute game changer. You have to travel with an Amazon Fire Stick.
Oh.
Because if you do, and then you just hook it up to the hotel Wi-Fi, it does take probably 10 minutes of work when you get to the hotel. You got to
Yeah.
plug it into the back. I'll show it to you.
Okay.
I literally travel with something in like a Ziploc bag.
Okay.
I plug it into the back of the hotel TV and then connect it to the hotel Wi-Fi, and I get everything. I use the DirecTV app, so I get 500 channels, and I also get Hulu, Netflix, Amazon
nice.
Prime, everything wherever I go. So if you get assigned to go cover a series, like Oklahoma City's going to be good for the next several years. There is nothing to do in Oklahoma City. It's the very lovely people, boring ass town. All right. And you hook it up to the Wi-Fi. You're set. You get everything. And I talked Stu into doing it too. Like Stu Lance has one too. But if you travel for a living, listen to me. Go on Amazon Prime. Order this thing. They're on sale right now for $20. If you go into Best Buy, you got to pay $44. Buy the one for $20. Throw it in your bag, and whenever you're on the road, you just plug it into the back of the TV, and you get 600 channels wherever you are.
Nice.
Isn't that easy?
Do you have to log in with your own stuff?
No, once you log it in,
it's all in there.
It's in there, but you do have to connect it to the hotel Wi-Fi, which sometimes, like occasionally, I'll have to call the hotel engineer and have him show me how to do it.
Yeah.
But I would say in the 30s, we go to 28 other cities. I would say 25 of them I don't need any help. There's only like 3 of them, and now the hotels and TVs are TVs and hotels are so great. There's these giant big screens, and then you're basically got everything at your disposal. So I'm a big gadget guy. This shoe will fit right in with all the other gadgets I have.
I feel like every player will be wearing those.
Well, every team will buy them.
Yeah, they'll just buy them.
Yeah, so this guy's definitely going to make money on these things. That's for sure.
I got to connect you guys. He's down in your hood too.
Oh, good.
It's like San Clemente.
Happy to meet him. Well, that's Michael.
Yeah.
Michael's in. Have you ever been to Michael's house?
No, I didn't get to go when you guys had that party last year.
Oh yeah, for Amanda. That was really fun. Michael basically lives on the ocean. The ocean is his backyard.
Like he could fall off and he'd land on sand.
You can hit a golf ball from Michael's backyard into the ocean.
Not bad.
Yeah, and he's
and
right
why does
there.
he drive all the way up here then?
He would prefer not to.
Yeah.
But you want the honest answer to that? Just being 100% honest. Julie wants him out of the house. If he doesn't, he would tell you that.
Yeah.
If he doesn't leave just at least for a day, Julie will go stir crazy.
Yeah.
So the only time he won't come up here, my favorite Michael thing these days, and I make him do it, is when he babysits Roman, Trace's son. They are like the odd couple. They should have their own sitcom. It is so Roman can do no wrong with Michael.
I love that.
So whatever Roman wants, if Roman wants to have ice cream for dinner, Michael's like, "Let's go, ice cream for dinner."
Michael's like made to be a grandpa.
Right? Yeah, it's like, and he's so good at it. And he just loves it.
Yeah.
And so anytime he sends me probably a Michael Roman video once a week.
Oh.
And we have a group chat, and there's like 10 people on it, and it is the absolute highlight of the group chat.
Awesome.
It's awesome. All right. Coming up next is Sports Graffiti. Your chance to sound off on anything we've been talking about. 877-710-3776. 877-710-ESPN. It is your chance to. The way we do this, if you haven't been listening, is I'll say, Ramona, you're on Sports Graffiti, go. And you can say whatever you want for 15, 20 seconds. It can be anything we've talked about. It can be anything we haven't talked about. Anything you want. Greg, open the phones. 877-710-3776. Sports Graffiti next. Momo in for Mason in Ireland, ESPN LA.
It's time for a party. Oh,
June 30th, Copa America, Mexico, Ecuador. But that's in Phoenix. Mercado Northgate is taking care of you. We're going to have a VIP party down in Costa Mesa. Listen all week long to ESPN LA to figure out how you can get invited. We're going to have a party, we're going to get going, and we're going to cheer on El Tri. USA, USA. That's what you're going to be chanting July 1st when the red, white, and blue takes on Uruguay in Copa America. And where are you going to watch it? At the Mercado Northgate in Costa Mesa. Find out how you can get VIP access all week long on ESPN LA. Really excited to see the new schools come into play at the Coliseum. Obviously, you're going to have Notre Dame to finish the season. That's always a special game. But seeing Nebraska showing up, Penn State showing up, LSU at the Collie, that's what I'm really looking forward to.
I think both programs, the men's football program and the men's basketball program, are moving in the right direction. And the women's basketball program at USC is going to be ranked top 5 next year. So it's a great time for the USC Trojans to be back on ESPN LA.
I'm really curious to see, what does USC football look like without Caleb Williams? What are the adjustments that Lincoln Riley makes? And what is the defense going to look like in the non-Alex Grinch era?
New conference, new quarterback, just really fired up on the football side. New head coach for basketball, so almost like a really new team, which is going to be awesome. And then returning to prominence for USC women's basketball, to be back to where USC women's basketball is. I'm super excited to see Juju in her second year, but just the rest of the players continue to grow under Coach Gottlieb.
This beautiful thing has been up since the first time SC was here. But guess what? USC is back! And once again, this means something for us. Pumped for this season. USC Athletics back on 710 ESPN. Yeah, don't get it twisted, yo. The most downloaded sports radio show in Los Angeles. The podcast, that is.
Mason and Ireland, the #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. The #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. And we thank all of our podcast listeners for that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason and Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
Mason and Ireland, Ramona in for Mace. It is time for Sports Graffiti. Your chance to sound off about anything you want to do. I will simply say your name, tell you you're on, and you go. We start with Alex. Alex, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go.
Hey, John. Hey, Momo.
What's up?
I just want to say that this Mandy's was the first time I went to an ESPN LA event.
What'd you think?
It was so much fun.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
It was great. I loved it. I had to explain to my wife, that's Momo. She created clips.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, my God, I love her. She's so cute. And we got a selfie with you, Momo.
All right.
Beautiful.
And, yeah, it was great. Thank you, guys.
All right, thanks, Alex. Appreciate it. Here's Tim. Tim, you're on ESPN LA. Go.
Good afternoon. I just wanted to say, people are really looking at the Lakers in the wrong way. Last year, we were missing Vanderbilt. We were missing Woods. We were missing some length. And I think what we're going to get with the team is some shooters, and I think we get our length back. And I don't remember if Vanderbilt's still going to be with the team. So maybe
he is. He's got a He's got a very favorable contract.
Yeah.
And he's an excellent defender. Now, the mistake I thought Darvin made was when he started him, and then the other team didn't have to guard him. But I think situationally, he's a really valuable asset. Here's Jay. Jay, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go.
Hey, guys. I was wondering whether LeBron would defer his payments when he gets his new contract and possibly become an advisor with the team later on where they can maybe give him his money back somehow,
It's a good question, Jay. You cannot, based on the NBA bylaws, defer payments. That would be a violation of the salary cap. But what you can do is start grooming him for a role afterwards. I don't think LeBron will necessarily work for the Lakers. I think he's going to try and buy a team. I think maybe the team in Vegas.
Yeah.
And then he would have his own team. Here's Mark. Mark, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go.
Yeah, I think this is a great thing. I don't know what people are talking about. LeBron's been in the league for so many years. This guy needs some motivation, and this is going to motivate him to bring a championship, to work harder. The one I feel bad for is Bronny, because poor Bronny, I remember when I coached my son, we would go to practice, and then we would go home, and we would practice some more so he could be better at practice and make a team. So he's going to be practicing more and pushing LeBron, and LeBron's going to be pushing everybody else. Plus, LeBron is going to have LeBron turn around, take less money so he can build this team. Because for them to win a championship and be the first to do this, it's history.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. Ramona, I don't understand all the negativity surrounding about this. We're going to talk more about it later in the show, but I think this is a good story, not a bad one. Devin, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go, Devin.
Hey, what's going on, Momo? What's going on, John? This is Laker Dev, and I'm on the campaign trail for my Mandy's 2025 Caller of the Year, Listener of the Year award.
Starting early.
But really quick, all the Laker hate, man, again, it's unnecessary. As far as in regards to Bronny James, man, he's ours. He's drafted by the Lakers. He is a Laker. Let's root for his success. His upside is like the sky is the limit. And the Lakers will be fine. Go ahead, John.
Thanks, Dev. Here's Chris. Chris, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go.
Hey, question for you guys about the Canadian Olympic team and the Warriors saying that Andrew Wiggins can't play on the Canadian Olympic team because he might get hurt. Can you put in their perspective for, an American player? Because they look like they have a great team. And, obviously America is going to win the favorites. But, any given Sunday, right?
Right. And two things, Chris. Thanks for the call. Number one, they can't tell him he can't play. They don't have that authority, but they can strongly suggest that they don't want him to play. And Momo, I'm not sure Andrew Wiggins will be on the Warriors when the Olympics happen. I think he could get traded in the next month.
If you can find a spot for him.
Right.
I think,
And I wouldn't, by the way, I wouldn't assume we're winning the gold medal either. The rest of the world is caught up.
Really good.
Our team will be great.
I also think with Andrew Wiggins, I know Latvia was very involved with Kristaps Porzingis, right? When he had his injury with his foot,
right?
And he was going to have surgery no matter what. And I think there was an understanding that he was going to miss the Olympics. But when you talk about Jokic and Murray and all these guys, they've played so well for their NBA teams that they have a lot of latitude.
Yeah,
but a guy like Wiggins, who's had a disappointing season, 2 seasons in a row, doesn't have quite as much latitude.
And think about this too: Canada's starting guards, if everybody plays, would be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who is arguably a top 3, and Jamal Murray in the same backcourt. And Dylan Brooks coming off the bench. They're going to have a formidable team. Here's David. David, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go.
I think Clay to the Lakers is not far-fetched. We did a favor and drafted Bronny for LeBron, and he could do us a favor and take less than the max for us.
It's a long shot, David. I don't think it'll happen, but boy, it's fun to dream. That's for sure. Here's Henry. Henry, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go.
Hey, how you doing, John?
Good.
I just wanted to say I think the Lakers made a really good move in picking up J.J. Redick. He's got a nice tree to follow. He's got good coaches that are going to be coming his way to finally turn this thing around for my Los Angeles Lakers. Met you a while back in the corridor of Crypto Stadium. Good luck and keep up the work, fellas.
All right,
Good
thanks,
job,
Henry.
Momo.
Appreciate it. Here's Ruben. Ruben, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go.
Hey, how's it going? 2 things. What happens? You said nothing happens with the 55th pick.
Right.
What happens if they try to cut him and LeBron starts threatening to want to trade because he doesn't want them to go?
I don't think that'll happen. But what was your second thing?
What if Bronny does make the team and LeBron starts forcing plays for Bronny to make him look good?
Yeah, I don't think that'll happen either because LeBron, all he wants to do is beat your ass. He only cares about winning. So
listen, I'll remind you of this.
These are all bridges we can cross when we get to them.
Let's go back to Cleveland, his last year in Cleveland when they traded half the team at the trade deadline because it wasn't working out. You remember one of those guys?
Dwayne Wade?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's Adam. Adam, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go.
Hey, I don't think real Laker fans are that mad about the Bronny stuff. It was kind of expected. It's just LeBron fatigue at this point, I think, because it just seems like every day is F It Friday for the front office when he asks for anything. And all he's done, his longest tenure is going to be with the Lakers, and he's had one season better than a 7 seed. It's just like, dude, you used to be great, but come on. Like, how do we keep rooting for this mediocrity?
Well, I think you have to ask yourself the other side of that question. Let's say he leaves. What are we watching then?
Yeah.
I mean, did you guys forget what life was like after Kobe retired? I mean, it was terrible. Kevin, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go.
Yeah, hey guys, I appreciate it. Longtime Laker fan here. Definitely a lot to weigh in on that point. Just want to bring it back to the other day. I was listening to the Michael Vick kind of redemption talk there. That was you guys, right?
Yeah, that was us.
Yeah, so I heard it referred to as kind of dog racing, and just wanted to clarify that's a gross misrepresentation.
Well, it was dog fighting is what got him in trouble. He went to jail for dog fighting. So if we said racing, we screwed that up. But thanks for the correction. Here's John. John, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go.
Hey, I just want to say, you know what? The Lakers did what they did. I just feel like it's a circus sideshow move. It's like they bought a 5-legged goat. They just want everybody to come in and look. I'm so disgusted with Pelinka and just not trying to win, but trying to get the gate. That's all I see. So anyway, thanks, guys.
All right. They were in the Western Conference Finals 2 years ago. Who's not trying to win?
I think they're trying to win. I think they saw enough in Bronny, and he was close enough to the other guys in that stage of the draft. The added benefit of making your star player happy and creating history is enough.
All right, let's do a couple more. Here is Big Mike. Big Mike, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go.
Yep, here's the voice of reason. Enough with Bronny and LeBron. John and Ramon, help me out here.
Okay.
Tell me some contract status on, let's start with Cam Reddish.
We don't know. The guys who were in the team last year, like Cam Reddish, are he may or may not be back. We don't know. He was on a 1-year deal. Oh, we lost him there. All right, we'll do one more. Bernard, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go.
Yes.
Yes.
How far y'all think the Lakers going to go with the dynamic duo they got? How far y'all think really they going to go?
How far do you think the Lakers are going to go? Who's to say? I mean, they've, Western Conference Finals 2 years ago, out in the first round last year. I think middle of the West is probably a reasonable expectation. 4, 5, 6, 7 in there somewhere.
I think it all depends on what side of the bracket they're on. Dallas, I thought, had a favorable draw this year where they weren't on the Denver side of the bracket. Minnesota took care of Denver, and that's how Dallas got to the finals this year. I'm not saying Dallas wasn't good, but the heavy lifting was done by the Timberwolves, right? They took out Dallas. And then the Timberwolves took so much out of themselves by beating Dallas, they didn't have much left for the Mavs. So if the Lakers would have been on the other side of the bracket, maybe, the year before they were on the other side of the bracket. They didn't have to play Denver until the Western Conference Finals. I think a lot of it depends on the draw, on who's healthy. Is Gabe Vincent healthy this year? Is he playing? Is D'Angelo Russell back? Like, who's playing point guard? There's a lot of questions we still need to know.
We'll better be able to answer that,
next week.
2 weeks. Yeah, as soon as free agency ends. All right, coming up next, we're going to talk about the Dodgers. They open a series tonight in San Francisco. And I'm not sure people realize what Shohei Ohtani is doing. But he's about to do something that hasn't happened since 1937, if he can pull it off. It won't be easy, but we'll tell you what it is. First, let me tell you about Mirror Audio Video. They've been serving LA sports fans for more than 40 years. Isaac and Roy and the team at Mirror can offer to you, products and services that others just don't have. Cutting-edge home automation from Crestron, Lutron, and Control4. You want to have one-touch control over everything, from your pool to your lights to your window shades? Go to Mirror. Better, faster Wi-Fi? Go to Mirror. And we can't stress this enough. World-class customer service. You will never be put in phone jail when you call Mirror. You call, and Isaac or Roy picks up, and just like that, you're taken care of. Try it right now. Here's the number. 310-234-4010. 310-234-4010. Tell them Mason and Ireland sent you. They'll hook you up for sure. That's Mirror Audio Video in Westwood. Mason and Ireland, Momo in for Mace, ESPN LA.
There's nothing like NHL hockey, LA Kings hockey on 710 ESPN. Welcome to the family.
Brand new partnership. We're excited to have the Kings right here, the home of the Los Angeles Kings. And Trav, now I just need an invitation to go catch a game.
You have been giving you one forever. Now you have to
across the street. Now it's across the street.
Go Kings, go.
Go Kings, go.
The Kings are back on 710 ESPN. Believe it or not, I did pregame for the Kings 25 years ago. Damn, I'm old. Luke Robitaille, the rest of the Kings organization couldn't be more excited. Go Kings, go.
Go Kings, go. Nothing like live hockey. Nothing like seeing it in person. Nothing like watching it on TV. Nothing like listening to it on the radio. And we've got them on ESPN LA. Go Kings, go.
We're so excited. The LA Kings have found a new home right here on 710 ESPN. Can't wait to see you on the ice.
I want to congratulate the LA Kings. You are now on the greatest sports radio station in America, 710. And guess what? Now I get to be one of the ice girls at a Kings game. Go Kings, go. Go Kings, go. Go Kings, go.
.710 ESPN and the all-new ESPN LA app. This fall, the new home of the USC Trojans.
The new home of the USC Trojans.
The Trojans are back.
The USC Trojans play on LA's mega sports station.
That's right. USC football, USC men's basketball, and USC women's basketball are on 710 ESPN coming this fall.
710 ESPN, the new home of the USC Trojans.
.4 p.m. for your afternoon. Sandwich between Travis and Sliwa and Sonato and Cap. Mason and Ireland continues now.
All right, Mason and Ireland. Momo in for Mace, and Dodgers back at it tonight in San Francisco against the lying, hating, bike-stealing Giants. And Greg, for people who don't know, Greg is one of the hosts of the Blue Review. Are you guys still doing it every day?
Every day, 9:30 to 9:55 on the ESPN LA YouTube channel.
Okay. So, I just recently added the ESPN YouTube channel to my favorites so I can watch Travis and Sliwa and Sedano and Cap when I'm not on. And it's really easy to do, particularly if you have a smart TV. So when I click on YouTube, it goes right to it.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's easy. So if you want to see Greg and is Parker and who else is
Parker and
helping you
Marcus
on
Grant.
talking about the Dodgers, you can check that out every weekday at 9:30. So Shohei Ohtani is hitting .320, 24 homers, 60 RBIs. He ranks first in the National League in batting average. He ranks first in the National League in homers. And he ranks second in the National League in RBIs.
Total value pick, too, with making $2 million a year.
You're a little old on your numbers there. He has 25
gosh.
Thank you.
And 61 RBIs.
Okay, so yeah, I didn't have his most
you
recent homer.
shortchanged him.
Well, here's the thing. So in baseball, the reason you don't hear this term anymore is because no one ever does it. Baseball, there's a thing called a Triple Crown. If you lead the league in home runs, RBIs, and batting average. It has only happened one time since 1967. Miguel Cabrera did it in 2012. It has not happened in the National League since 1937.
Wow.
That a guy, because normally think of the way baseball has become specialized. You got guys who are really good hitters, like Luis Arraez, who's in San Diego, competes for the batting title every year.
Is that how you say his name?
But he doesn't have.
Yes, that is.
I've been saying Arraez.
Yeah,
Arraez.
Yeah,
that's not right.
Greg, he's never gonna lead the league in home runs. He doesn't have the power.
Right.
No, he hits singles.
So, but if Ohtani does this,
that's amazing.
And think about this. If he wins the Triple Crown, becomes the first guy since 1937 to do it in the National League. Greg, I know he's not pitching this year. I know he probably doesn't even own a mitt. He never fields. He simply gets up there if he wins the Triple Crown, they have to give him the MVP, don't they?
Yes, they will give him the MVP.
Right now, he's the odds-on favorite, isn't he?
Yes, he is. It was Mookie Betts, and Mookie Betts would have won if he didn't get injured because he is playing shortstop, the most important position on the field.
You would
and he
favor
switched.
Betts over Ohtani because he's
Correct.
a more all-around player.
So
but now
Shohei would have had amazing.
And the guy in Atlanta is out for the year.
Right, Ronald Acuna Jr.
Yeah, who is he won it last year, right?
Yes, he did.
Okay, so is it possible? I know he makes $700 million. Is it possible he's underpaid?
I mean, I don't know. I could be under. I mean, possibly because look, we talked about this before when they did the actual deal. That they've already made their money back.
Right.
They already made it back in jersey sales.
And they've got him for 10 years, right?
So it's already done. And especially since they're only paying $2 million right now, it's kind of ridiculous. Yes, I guess you could call him underpaid because of $2 million a year.
Well, that and you go to any Dodger game now, and in both photo wells, it's packed with Japanese media. So he's made the Dodgers a more global brand. And he's become must-see TV.
Yeah.
We always talk about a stop-what-you're-doing player.
Yeah.
For a few years, Mike Trout was this. For a few years, Vladimir Guerrero was this.
Acuna.
Yeah, but now, if you're going to meet Nevin in a restaurant, and you walk in and you look up at the bar and Shohei's up, you're not going to the table until that at-bat is over.
That's right. I watched almost every Dodger game now with Daniel. He's gotten into baseball, thank God. I was like, what if my kids don't like watching sports with me? This is going to be a problem.
But he's starting to get it.
He's starting to get it now. It's great. And he's like, Mommy, Shohei's up. Shohei's up.
Okay, so
he even knows. He's 5.
We've established that Shohei is probably the best baseball player ever to play in Los Angeles.
Ooh.
I mean, there have been some great ones, but he is. Yeah, I mean, if he's a two-way threat. I mean, he might be the best baseball player since Babe Ruth. Did you know that earlier this week in Chicago, he had a near-death experience?
What?
You don't know about this?
No.
All right, Greg, you saw this happen. I didn't. Explain what happened in Chicago.
This was absolutely amazing. So Kike Hernandez is at bat, and he fouls off a ball off the knob of the bat, and it goes straight towards the Dodger dugout.
Like a screaming line drive.
Screaming line drive, and there's a bat boy named Javier Herrera, and he just, without flinching at all, grabs the ball and catches it and just hands it over to a fan. What you don't notice, though, is that Shohei Ohtani's face is right behind that ball.
Like probably, Momo, 2 feet behind where he caught the ball.
So if he doesn't catch that, it goes right through. It's in Shohei's face.
Wow.
And he's breaking bones, orbital bones, noses, whatever it happens to be. So this guy, Javier Herrera, absolutely saved Shohei Ohtani's life and the Dodgers' life in that sense.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I'm going to find it for you and send it to you because it's incredible. There's a GIF of it. I've watched it 150,000 times already.
It would have been...
And that's not hyperbole.
It would have been an unmitigated disaster. I don't remember who it was, but one time there was a Dodger game in San Diego, and a bat got sawed off, and the part of the bat went right into somebody's neck.
Oh, wow.
And they had to call the paramedics and rush this guy to the hospital, and he almost died. This probably would have been similar to that. Ooh. And baseball's done a better job, Greg, of protecting fans by putting those nets up all over the place.
Yeah.
Momo, I'm gonna
I just sent it to you, Momo.
All right, but here it is, so you can watch it happen. Watch it. Can you see that? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, watch. Shohei is right behind this kid. Now watch what happens here.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
it's so fast.
Wow!
Look at Will Ayrton's face. Watch it again.
And Shohei comes up to him like,
"Oh my
you.
gosh!"
And by the way, Greg, the thing. What's this kid's name? The ball boy.
Javier Herrera.
The thing nobody gives him enough credit for. You didn't even mention it. No glove.
No glove.
No glove. No, it's amazing. And it's like nothing to him.
Wow.
It reminds me of when Kobe was standing there and Matt Barnes put it in his face and he didn't move. He doesn't flinch.
Shohei tried to get out the way.
He did.
Yeah. But I don't think he would have. I think that thing was because Shohei wasn't paying attention and that ball boy was watching.
Wow.
And I think that guy is we should credit him with saving the Dodgers season.
So what do you do if you're Shohei Ohtani because you saved his life? What do you do for Javier Herrera?
Oh, that's a great question. What would be?
He gave Joe Kelly's wife a Porsche for his number.
Right.
This is more. You're saving his life.
That's a great question. What could he do for that guy?
Apparently he's 38. Is this right?
So yeah, apparently he played in like the Giants minor league system for a little while.
Yeah, well, once those guys get those jobs, they never give them up because it's such a great life.
Yeah, they're not ball boys anymore.
Right,
they're
ball men. Yeah,
right.
Careful.
So what I would do?
What would you ask for if you were him?
If he didn't ask for anything,
right?
It's
but
more
if
about
Shohei came to you and said, "Hey man, I want to do something nice for you. Is there anything you need?" What would you say?
I think it should go the other way, and Shohei should say, "This is what I'm doing for you."
Okay, and what do you think?
I would say, let's you and I go to dinner. Will Ironton come to be able to translate, but then go there, have dinner, and just the two of you have dinner and just talk about sports and life and all that kind of stuff. I think that's an experience you will never get.
Yeah, but I can tell you this because I travel with a team.
Yep,
he's done that already.
With this guy?
Yeah, for sure. They all go out together. What I would do...
Shohei seems like a guy that stays to himself.
Yeah, well, but I mean, there isn't a person in the Laker traveling party who I haven't had dinner with at one point. I'll just tell you that.
Yeah.
All of them.
But like one-on-one? So like you sat with LeBron one-on-one?
No, it'd be more of a group thing. But
yeah.
But what I think I would do, because, he saved his life, he said, you gave Joe Kelly a Porsche. I would give this guy, if he's 38, he might be married, he might have kids. How about a minivan?
I'd give him something nicer than a minivan.
You were about to say a house. And by the way,
get him a house.
Yeah, who should pay for this? Shohei or the Dodgers? Because it's really he saved the Dodgers.
Yeah,
right.
But it's I mean it's Shohei himself. Oh my God! Every time I see it, it's just incredible.
I mean you can't. Once Marona's on it now. Once you start watching it, you're like, wow.
I can't stop watching it.
This could have been an unmitigated disaster. I mean,
this happens a lot in baseball too. Like those really close calls with foul balls. It happens a lot. Like especially in the dugout. And you always wonder, like, how did we make it that not like hit you right in the face? But usually you move.
When we come back, I'm going to tell you guys a story about a party that none of us were invited to.
Oh,
but you will not believe the guest list at this party. And I'm going to ask you this when we come back. If you had a party and anyone you invited said yes, okay?
Okay. They had to say yes.
No, they will say yes, and they will attend.
Okay.
How many people?
Three.
We get to choose? Three. Okay.
Three. I want 3 people. The first 3 people you would invite under those conditions.
Okay.
Okay.
And will they do anything like if it's a
No, they're coming
to
they're coming to the party. Yeah, they might. One of the people at this party took over the music, and you won't believe who it is.
Oh, wow.
But I'll tell you the whole story next. 3 people, anybody you invite says yes, I obviously have to be alive, and we'll tackle it next. Mason in Ireland, Momo in for Mace, ESPN LA.
Hey, listen to the Travis and Sliwa Show on Monday for your chance to win a pair of tickets to meet Daryl Strawberry and Oral Hershiser on Tuesday at Legends Attic in Claremont during our live broadcast from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Legends Attic is not only a museum, it's a memorabilia shop, and they've got sports cards, pinball machines, everything you can think of for the ultimate sports cave. Legends Attic in the city of Claremont.
The Lakers have a new head coach.
June 30th, Copa America, Mexico, Ecuador. But that's in Phoenix. Mercado Northgate is taking care of you. We're going to have a VIP party down in Costa Mesa. Listen all week long to ESPN LA to figure out how you can get invited. We're going to have a party, we're going to get going, and we're going to cheer on El Tri. USA, USA. That's what you're going to be chanting July 1st when the red, white, and blue takes on Uruguay in Copa America. And where are you going to watch it? At the Mercado Northgate in Costa Mesa. Find out how you can get VIP access all week long on ESPN LA. Really excited to see the new schools come into play at the Coliseum. Obviously, you're going to have Notre Dame to finish the season. That's always a special game. But seeing Nebraska showing up, Penn State showing up, LSU at the Collie, that's what I'm really looking forward to.
I think both programs, the men's football program and the men's basketball program, are moving in the right direction. And the women's basketball program at USC is going to be ranked top 5 next year. So it's a great time for the USC Trojans to be back on ESPN LA.
I'm really curious to see, what does USC football look like without Caleb Williams? What are the adjustments that Lincoln Riley makes? And what is the defense going to look like in the non-Alex Grinch era?
New conference, new quarterback, just really fired up on the football side. New head coach for basketball, so almost like a really new team, which is going to be awesome. And then returning to prominence for USC women's basketball, to be back to where USC women's basketball is. I'm super excited to see Juju in her second year, but just the rest of the players continue to grow under Coach Gottlieb.
This beautiful thing has been up since the first time SC was here. But guess what? USC is back! And once again, this means something for us. Pumped for this season. USC Athletics back on 710 ESPN.
Most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. The #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles, and we thank all of our podcast listeners for that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason and Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
All right, Mason and I, we're happy because it's Friday. We're out of here for a couple of days, and it's going to be an exciting couple of days because NBA free agency takes off 3 p.m. Sunday, and stuff will start to leak before then. NBA coverage, and Momo, you're part of this, is so good now that we'll know before 3 o'clock on Sunday where some of the key players are going.
Yeah.
And by the way, most of the guys that have to either opt in or opt out have to do it tomorrow. Guys like D'Angelo Russell, LeBron, Paul George, Clay, all those guys.
Yeah.
KCP. So there's going to be some major names available. And when we come back, Greg, on Monday, we'll be basically reshaping rosters top to bottom across the league. It happens that fast.
Yep. It's going to happen a ton this weekend.
Okay. So we'd have Jimmy Kimmel. Always have. Jimmy's been good to us over the years. He used to be a sports radio guy at K-Rock.
Yeah.
Jimmy and his wife, Molly, appeared on the Howard Stern show on Wednesday. Okay. And so they got invited to dinner at Paul McCartney's house. Okay.
Yeah.
Paul McCartney's having a dinner party. And so they all end up over at this party, and Jimmy says, we didn't know if it was a small dinner or a large dinner, but when we pulled up, there were a bunch of valet drivers outside, and they said, okay, this is going to be a big party. They estimated there were about 100 people in attendance at this party. And there were a bunch of musicians there, Ringo Starr, Mick Jagger, Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, wow.
And more. So Howard asked Jimmy, was there a jam session there? He said no, but people were dancing in the kitchen, including Molly, his wife. And the person who took over the music, who took her phone and basically commandeered the Sonos and was playing all the music at the party, was Taylor Swift, who was there with Travis Kelce.
Wow.
So you got Paul McCartney. Jimmy was like the least most famous person there. You got Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr, Mick Jagger.
Wow.
Then you've got Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. And so Jimmy starts looking around the room. And he says, Jennifer Aniston and Courtney Cox are there.
Wow.
And so is Steven Spielberg. Right? All these people at the same party. So my question, Momo, you have a party.
Wow.
I was just at your parents' house a couple weeks ago for your dad's thing. You have a party, and anybody you invite says yes. Give me the first 3 people you invite, just to pop into your head.
Okay, Oprah. That's my girl.
All right.
It's always Oprah for me.
Okay.
You know this. Probably I'm going to want to invite somebody from the sports world, but it's somebody I probably don't know, so I want them to come. David Beckham. Let's go with David Beckham.
I have been to a party with David Beckham. He's very nice.
Seems nice.
Yeah. And by the way, he came with Posh. Lisa and I were.
Oh, see, that would be good.
We're standing next to the Beckhams talking to him. It was a party at Tim Lewicki's house after they won the Stanley Cup.
Nice.
And we walk in with Victoria and David Beckham.
Okay.
That was kind of cool.
And then I think my third one, I'm going to go with The Rock.
Okay, not bad at all.
I don't know why those 3 came in my head.
Greg Bergman, first 3 invites that go out to your party go to who?
I think the first one for me is extremely obvious.
Margot Robbie.
Thank you. That is absolutely the right answer. The first person that is going to be
What
coming.
if she shows up with her husband?
I tell him to leave. He was not invited.
All right. Who's
I only
number
had 3
1?
people.
Okay.
He was not invited.
Who's number 2?
I've been listening to Outkast recently a lot, so I would go with Andre 3000.
Very good. And he might break out in song.
He might break out in song.
Good.
He might break out in flute. We have no idea since that's his new album. And I also want to go with Teoscar Hernandez from the Dodgers.
Well, that's so random.
No, he seems like he is such a great time to hang out with.
Really?
He has so much personality. He's like the glue. The glue. He's throwing the sunflower seeds at people. He seems like just like a really fun person.
Yeah, he was the one with Shohei in spring training.
Exactly. So I think he would be a ton of fun, and so those are my 3.
All right, Brian Cohen, first 3 invites that go out to your party go to who?
The first 2 are pretty easy for me. First one, obviously, Snoop Dogg. It's got to be there.
Great pick.
That's a good
choice.
I don't know how you could top that, you know?
Yep.
Second one, probably Sandman, Adam Sandler.
Very
Feel like,
good.
you know, you get the best of the movies and the comedy.
Okay.
And the third one I was kind of thinking of, I think it'd be Dave Roberts. I want to go inside the mind of Dave and how at a dinner party is the perfect opportunity.
The Dodger manager?
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's a guy.
Don't invite Morales. He will just hit him.
There's an ESPN executive named Dave Roberts.
Yeah.
I thought you were on your way to kissing up.
No.
That's funny.
All right, so my 3. First one would go to a person that was at this party.
Yep.
I think it'd be fascinating to talk to Paul McCartney.
Okay.
I just think that you think about the life he's lived.
Yeah.
You know, the Beatles came to America in 1962. And thinking he's still going,
Yeah.
So I think
That's cool. Yeah.
I think that it would be really, really fun to have Paul McCartney there.
All right.
Second one, my favorite comedian, I think this guy's the funniest guy on the planet, is Chris Rock.
Yeah, okay.
I think I'd invite Chris Rock. And I'm going to cheat on the third one.
Oh.
Because he just died. But wouldn't it be awesome if you got Bill Walton to that party?
All right.
I think that would be, and just have him, put him in a corner and tell stories.
You said he had to be alive.
I did. I said him cheating.
Okay.
I'm putting in there. So, but
I
Greg,
would've gone other ways.
No.
Yeah.
But Greg, if you want me to play by my own rules,
yes,
the third one's kind of obvious.
Kate Beckinsale.
Exactly. Where Lisa will get mad.
Well, that's why I have The Rock on the list.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
I see where you're going, Momo.
Okay, if Michael were here, you know what he would say? You don't need The Rock. Just invite me. I'm as good looking as The Rock.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. But how fun would it be to have been at that party?
Oh, my God.
Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr, Mick Jagger, Steven Spielberg, Courtney Cox, Jennifer Aniston, all at the same party.
That's a crew.
Yeah, that's incredible.
I wonder who hung out with who.
Yeah, would be. Well,
Right?
if we ever get Jimmy back on, we can ask him. All right, coming up next, we will do What's Up, Fool. We'll get Brian and Greg in here, and they'll tell us, throw a bunch of stuff at us, and we'll react. First, let me tell you about ZipRecruiter. If you are hiring, it can take up to 11 weeks on average to hire for an open job. That's almost 2.5 months. You don't have that kind of time. So use ZipRecruiter. You can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/LA. Ian Siegel, the guy who invented ZipRecruiter, is a good dude, puts it this way. We don't leave anything to chance. ZipRecruiter uses a powerful matching technology to quickly find and send you the most qualified people for your roles. How quick? 4 out of 5 employers. It's actually a little higher than that, 83%, who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within 1 day. So speed up your hiring process with ZipRecruiter. Go to that web address and try it for free. ZipRecruiter.com/LA. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/LA. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Mason and Ireland. Momo in for Mace. ESPN LA.
The LA
There's nothing like NHL hockey, LA Kings hockey on 710 ESPN. Welcome to the family.
Brand new partnership. We're excited to have the Kings right here, the home of the Los Angeles Kings. And Trav, now I just need an invitation to go catch a game.
You have been giving you one forever. Now you have
it's
to
across the street. Now it's across the street.
Go Kings, go.
Go Kings, go.
The Kings are back on 710 ESPN. Believe it or not, I did pregame for the Kings 25 years ago. Damn, I'm old. Luke Robitaille, the rest of the Kings organization couldn't be more excited. Go Kings, go.
Go Kings, go. Nothing like live hockey. Nothing like seeing it in person. Nothing like watching it on TV. Nothing like listening to it on the radio. And we've got them on ESPN LA. Go Kings, go.
We're so excited. The LA Kings have found a new home right here on 710 ESPN. Can't wait to see you on the ice.
I want to congratulate the LA Kings. You are now on the greatest sports radio station in America, 710. And guess what? Now I get to be one of the ice girls at a Kings game. Go Kings, go. Go Kings, go. Go Kings, go.
Starting Monday, September 9th, there's a new fall lineup on 710 ESPN, and it means the 9-hour LA Sports Mega Block begins an hour earlier. Even more live and local LA sports talk on 710 ESPN. The Travis and Sliwa Show will start at 9 a.m. Mason and Ireland move back to noon to 3, and Shidano and Cappy start the LA Afternoon Drive Takeover at 3 p.m. And then at 6 p.m., we are the destination for LA sports. It's a new fall lineup on 710 ESPN, and it begins Monday, September 9th.
June 30th, Copa America, Mexico, Ecuador. But that's in Phoenix. Mercado Northgate is taking care of you. We're going to have a VIP party down in Costa Mesa. Listen all week long to ESPN LA to figure out how you can get invited. We're going to have a party, we're going to get going, and we're going to cheer on El Tri. USA. USA. That's what you're going to be chanting July 1st when the red, white, and blue takes on Uruguay in Copa America. And where are you going to watch it? At the Mercado Norte in Costa Mesa. Find out how you can get VIP access all week long on ESPN LA.
Major announcement number 2. Well, with 10 days to spare on his current contract, after months of tireless negotiating, Cappy finally did the right thing and signed the deal. Congratulations to Cappy on a new multi-year contract that will keep him on the LA Afternoon Drive takeover for years to come.
And we've been very excited that What's Up Fool is made possible by our friends at Dos Hombres. In fact, we've got a special guest voice. Take it away, guest voice.
What's Up Fool is brought to you by Dos Hombres Mezcal. It's fate. It's friendship. It's mezcal. Dos Hombres.
Look at that. How do I follow that? I don't. So I simply say, take it away, Corporate Greg.
Thanks, Morales. All right, I don't normally agree with anything Paul Pierce says because he's a Celtic, and usually he's very, very wrong about everything. He says that Nikola Jokic is the greatest NBA draft pick of all time, saying he was picked 41st. This guy has been dominant, and he's won 3 MVPs in 4 years. Is Nikola Jokic the greatest draft pick of all time?
He's one of them. I don't know if it's the greatest draft pick of all time.
Because he's 41st, it's second-round pick. That all comes into play.
Right.
I mean, Ginobili was pretty low.
57.
Yeah.
He's in the running.
Yeah.
Jokic is in the running. But it just goes to show you how hard the draft is.
Yeah.
Because would it be weird to say Michael Jordan's the greatest draft pick of all time? He went 3rd.
Yeah.
But 2 teams passed on him. The
Or
Rockets.
like Giannis went, 13th or something?
15th, I think, yeah.
Kawhi,
14th or
13th.
15th.
Somewhere in there. I mean, a lot of those.
It's a good question. He's certainly in the conversation.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, because
he's won 3 MVPs, right?
3 MVPs in 4 years and a title. He was 41st. He's a big slob when he first came in, and now he's just an amazing player. He's turned himself in.
Is that better than Kobe going 13th?
Huh.
I mean, he's probably up in there too.
Yeah, Kawhi went 16th. Giannis went 14th. I mean, 41st is pretty far down there.
Yeah.
Draymond Green went in the 30s.
Yeah, he was second rounder.
Yeah, maybe.
So, it's one of them.
What's up, fool?
All right, guys, so we know the ESPYS coming up here. It's about that time. I think it's in 2 weeks, July 11th. And they just announced a few of the Lifetime Awards, ahead, the ones that are non-fan votes.
Right.
And it's going to be Don Staley taking home the Jimmy V Award this year, the coach for the Gamecocks, South Carolina. And Prince Harry is going to be the Tillman Award. And it is also announced that Serena Williams is going to be hosting this year. Last year, I know they didn't really have a host because I think McAfee did it, but during the writing strike and all that.
Right.
Oh, right.
And there's a big push going on that they think Caitlin Clark will be the female athlete of the year. So just a couple of those things. Are the ESPYs, a big thing, or is it really only in the sports
it's a big thing within the company. I know that ESPN spends a lot of money on it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what we do with the Mandy's. I'm a little uncomfortable that it's so self-congratulatory, but at the end of the day, it's fun. Like, we've turned the Mandy's into a very fun night, even though I'm sure there's some people go, are they just giving out awards to themselves?
I was trying to explain
I mean,
to
that's kind of what the ESPYs are, right?
Like, literally, one of my cousins who lives overseas saw my Instagram post where they tagged me as, like, co-host of the year. And she was like, congratulations, I think, And I was like, yeah, congratulations. Like, I was trying to explain what this was to her, and it just sounded so funny coming out of my mouth. Like, what is this? Like, but for us, we all know what it is. It's fun, whatever. The ESPYs, to me, first of all, if Prince Harry is getting an award, he's showing up, right? So that's probably why he's getting an award. He does a lot of work with.
Well, he does those Invictus games.
Yeah, the Invictus games.
Yeah, that's what the award is for.
Yeah.
Is for his involvement
Serena
in that.
hosting is a big deal.
Yeah, I think she'll be great.
Yeah.
I've always been a big Serena fan.
Yeah, me too. And she's also got a documentary coming out, a 30 for 30, that Gotham Chopper did. So that's probably why she's hosting.
Okay.
What's up, Foo?
All right, so All-Star game coming up, which means the home run derby. As you said earlier, John, Ohtani leading all these categories. There seems to be a kind of a divide between organization, Ohtani, all this. All the fans want to see Ohtani, compete in the home run derby. He's already done it.
Yeah, that's
Mookie
what I
did it
thought.
last year,
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think anybody thought when Mookie did it he was necessarily going to win. But it was cool to see, L.A. Dodger in the home run derby.
Mm-hmm.
Would you have a problem with Ohtani going, even though he's still kind of, technically rehabbing from an injury? Or is this one of those things where get the best guy out there? Ohtani does it with ease. People want to see that.
I think an All-Star game is about giving the fans what they want. And if Shohei wants to do it and I'm running the Dodgers, Greg, I don't stop him.
Yeah.
It's kind of up to him. I can't imagine a guy that talented losing his swing because he competed in a home run derby. That seems like kind of an old wives' tale to me.
It is an old wives' tale, but it's different for Shohei because he's coming off those 2 Tommy Johns, and that it medically has to be cleared. I don't think if at any point the medical staff says it's probably not great for you, I would not do it if I'm Shohei.
What do you think, Momo? Would you, if Shohei comes to you and goes, and you're running the Dodgers, he says, I want to do the home run derby. What do you think? What do you say?
I usually let people do what they want, but on this one, I don't like it.
Yep.
The home run derby's hard, man. You're out there with a lot of swings all the time. With his injury, he's too important to them.
No. That's really the only reason why.
Brian, what do you think? I have zero issues if he does it.
I would honestly love to see it. I have zero issues too. I mean, if he's playing every day and he's doing this good, I feel like he could do it.
And all he's doing is hitting.
Right.
He's not pitching, he's not fielding, so I think he could do it.
What's up, Foo?
All right, so we know that Into a Dome coming with all these toilets, but I think minor league baseball team, the Lake County Captains, kind of taking a bomber one up here. So they have a whole row now, about 5 rows up, all toilets.
What?
And they're actual seats, but they look kind of cool. You got to kind of look this up online.
All right.
So they're actual toilets, but as a seat. Obviously there's no hole in the middle.
Toilets! So you're going to pee in front of everyone.
Right. No,
So
it's
stalls.
just like a designed seat, more or less. A row of toilets, and they're called the toilet row.
Toilets!
If you're going to a minor league baseball game, would you, engage in this? Would you sit here?
Well, the spirit of minor league baseball is kind of do anything
Goofy,
once.
yeah.
So maybe one time I'd do it, but not. I wouldn't want to be like the mayor of Toilet Row if that's what you're asking. No, I think that's a bad look.
I mean, it's not that far to walk, right?
Yeah.
And also, don't you enjoy having a door?
I do.
I know dudes do that all the time, but you have like a code, right? You don't look, and you
Although I
kind
will
of
say
give each
this.
other some space.
So Lisa and I have been together for 30 years.
Yeah.
And our master bedroom does not have a door.
Really?
It has an alcove that you walk into, but still, we've been together 30 years.
Yeah.
If she's home and she's in the room, I go to one of the other bathrooms that has a door.
Yeah.
I just
I know. I would
do.
too.
I do.
Why do you not have a door then?
She built it. She redid the bathroom like 15 years ago. Next time you're over, I'll show it to you. It's not. You have some privacy. It just doesn't have a door.
Yeah, it doesn't have a door, so you hear and
Right.
smell everything.
Well, for me, it's more of a privacy issue. I just don't want anybody watching me do my business.
Right.
Yeah, also, it's a like I come home from the show or whatever.
Yeah.
And I just need 10 minutes to myself.
Right.
And it's like a lot of times, the boys want to come talk or Nevin wants to come. The boys I get. Okay,
Yeah.
mommy's home, you want to play with her. But like when Nevin comes in, I want to talk to you about 17 things.
Just give me 10 minutes.
Just give me 10 minutes.
I'm with you.
I just need to decompress a minute,
Yeah. I
should
think
be a safe space.
It sounds like Ramona and I would not be participants in Toilet Row. I don't think we'd go for it.
It's pretty wild. You can see it all over the internet right now. It's kind of a funny little thing.
I guess it'd be good for kids.
Yeah, maybe that's how you do it. You just have a bunch of kids.
What's up, fool?
I got another one here for you. So, according to Men's Journal, the U.S. landmark was named the best attraction in the world here, and it was the Empire State Building.
Really?
Beating out the Eiffel Tower. And when I kind of think of the world's best attractions, these buildings don't necessarily come to mind. The
I was
Empire
going to say,
State
if you would have said, guess if this is in the United States, it's considered to be one of the big attractions, what would it be? I would have guessed Niagara Falls,
Mount Rushmore.
Maybe the St. Louis Arch,
Yeah.
the Golden Gate Bridge. I'm
Empire State
surprised that
Building.
the Empire State Buildings are. Well, maybe because of the movies. That it's in a lot of movies.
Yeah, you're right. Bits and
Can
Harry
we talk
Met
about
Sally.
the Golden Gate Bridge for just a second?
Yeah.
It's really not that great. It's not golden.
What are you talking
it's
about?
Red, it's red,
It's
first of
awesome.
all. It's very, very short. And it's like you can walk across it. I don't know. It's not that great.
You're just
it's
a Dodger fan who hates the
No,
Giants.
no. I've gone and I've taken pictures in front of it and all that stuff, but it's like, is it really that great? It's just this red bridge.
No, I think
There's nothing special about
I think
it.
you're describing the Bay Bridge. I think
No,
the
no.
Golden Gate Bridge
Golden
is
Gate is
spectacular.
majestic.
Yeah.
Is it really though?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
Have
when
you
you-
ever
when-
taken the boat to go underneath it?
No,
That's a
I
really
have
fun
not.
thing to do too.
I mean,
Yeah.
the small,
There's a hiking area right there, too. It's
the
really great.
fog-
yeah, up in Marin, up on the hill. Yeah.
The fog around it is really cool, but really though, it's just a bridge. It's not anything special.
Jeez, Mister, I wouldn't put you on the architectural committee.
I am not an architect. That's fine. I don't know. It's
What?
just a bridge.
Just unbelievable.
What are you talking about?
Damn,
Why
do you-
not?
You think SoFi's just a stadium?
Well, no. SoFi is beautiful, and it's very hard to get out of that place.
Exactly. And the food sucks, but
Right.
it's a pretty impressive building.
Wow.
All right, Bright, is that it? You got
What's
one more?
up, fool?
I got one more for you here
Okay.
real quick. So Heinz announced today that they're coming out with a every sauce. I want to see what your gauge of interest here is. So they combined all 14
Oh.
of their condiment sauces together for an every sauce. To me, I kind of threw up in my mouth. I don't know.
Yeah,
What do you
no
think about
thank
this?
you.
Ranch and
So ranch
sweet
and
sour.
A1 in the same
With
sauce?
garlic burger sauce. Yeah, there's
Ugh,
onion mayo sauce. There's a bunch.
that's really gross.
Yeah, I'm out
Yeah.
on the, what do they call it?
The every sauce.
Yeah, every sauce is too much. Although, here's a funny
Yeah.
thing. Michael likes to put ketchup on everything,
Yeah,
including steak.
I like that too.
And I like A1. I just like the taste of it. So when we're traveling on the road, we go to a lot of fancy steakhouses.
Yeah.
And some of the chefs in these places get mad if you ask for A1 or
I know
ketchup.
they get insulted.
It's insulted, yeah.
Yeah, but and so you know what Michael started to do?
Bring it with him.
Yeah, he takes them off the airplane.
Yeah.
Like the little baby bottles of ketchup.
Yeah.
And so he doesn't have to ask for it anymore. He just breaks out the ketchup bottle. This is, by the way, this is dining with Michael.
Yeah.
So imagine you're going to like a 5-star steakhouse. Maybe you're going to Mastro's. First thing, Michael's wearing sweats.
Right.
Second thing,
That was amazing.
he'll walk in with a red Solo cup of Camus.
Oh my God.
And they'll say to him, "Sir, can we pour that in a wine glass for you?" And he'll go, "No, I'm good." They said, "We really don't want a red Solo cup on one of our linen tables." And he goes, "Yeah, I'm good." And then he'll order a steak and say, he won't even ask, and he'll break out his ketchup bottle. He's like the biggest
God.
nightmare for a really
Fine dining, yeah.
uppity steakhouse person. Like he's the opposite of
It's
it.
great that he has no shame.
Right.
No shame.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so when we come back, I want to ask a question.
Okay.
Based on everything we've heard over the last 24 hours. Are Laker fans guilty of being too negative? Not only about this Bronny thing, but about the Redick thing, about everything. I'm gonna play for you some people that are the opposite, that are super high on the Lakers. The opposite of what most of our callers and most of our tweeters have been coming out with us. We'll explore that next. Momo Informace, ESPN LA.
Hey, join DeMarco Farr and Kurt Morrison this Saturday at the Black Wellness Celebration at Magic Johnson Park. There will be free entertainment, a kids zone, resource vendors, medical screenings and checkups, voter registration, and more. Celebrate Juneteenth, Black History Music Month, and Men's Mental Health Month this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Magic Johnson Park.
There's a new fall lineup coming to 710. Starting Monday, September 9th, there's a new fall lineup on 710 ESPN, and it means the 9-hour LA Sports Mega Block begins an hour earlier. Even more live and local LA sports talk on 710 ESPN. The Travis and Sliwa Show will start at 9 a.m. Mason and Ireland move back to noon to 3, and Shitano and Cappy start the LA Afternoon Drive Takeover at 3 p.m. And then at 6 p.m., we are the destination for LA sports. It's a new fall lineup on 710 ESPN, and it begins Monday, September 9th.
June 30th, Copa America, Mexico, Ecuador. But that's in Phoenix. Mercado Northgate is taking care of you. We're going to have a VIP party down in Costa Mesa. Listen all week long to ESPN LA to figure out how you can get invited. We're going to have a party, we're going to get going, and we're going to cheer on El Tri. USA, USA. That's what you're going to be chanting July 1st when the red, white, and blue takes on Uruguay in Copa America. And where are you going to watch it? At the Mercado Northgate in Costa Mesa. Find out how you can get VIP access all week long on ESPN LA.
Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN. Don't get it twisted, yo. The most downloaded sports radio show in Los Angeles. The podcast, that is.
Mason and Ireland, the #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. The #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. And we thank all of our podcast listeners for that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason and Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
I fill you up. Let's have a party.
All right, Mason and Ireland. It is Friday. We're out of here for a couple of days after this. It's going to be a busy couple of days. Yeah, the NBA free agency gates are going to swing wide open, and there are some big names in free agency this year, including Paul George, Klay Thompson, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. All these guys could be on new teams by Monday. And so that's something we want to keep an eye on. But, Ramon, I want to ask this because I'm obviously a big Laker fan. I grew up a Laker fan. I work for them. I do their games on the radio. And, Greg, you and Brian and Ramona could answer this better than me because I'm coming at this with purple and gold-colored glasses.
Never. That doesn't happen.
I don't get the negativity that I'm getting on my social media feeds and, particularly about J.J. Redick and then, again, about Bronny. So I want to play a couple of things for you guys and then just have you react to both of them. This is a guy named John Fanta, who is a college basketball reporter for Fox. He was on a Fox TV show, and he was asked, do you think J.J. Redick is going to work? These guys were kind of saying, what are the Lakers doing? Why are they hiring J.J. Redick? He's never coached anything other than fourth grade. And here's what Fanta said.
If you look at J.J. Redick growing up in Roanoke, Virginia, coming from humble beginnings, he has worked for everything that he has gotten. He was a good college player at first, his first 2 years.
At Duke?
He went back into the lab and said, I'm going to become the best player in the country. Went from the best player in the country to people saying, he's small, he's undersized, he's weak. He's not going to be an NBA player. He played 15 years in the NBA. Then he gets into TV. People are like, they're evaluating him as a TV analyst. He becomes the guy that's at the top of the food chain there, calling the NBA finals. Everything that he's touched, he has then been able to get to the pinnacle.
All right, all that is factual, Greg. Yeah. Why are people down on the Redick hire?
People are down on the Redick hire because they don't like that he's never done it before. All those things that John Fanta is talking about could very well be true. It hasn't happened yet. I know the Lakers have a history of having first-time head coaches. Some work, some do not. So that's what people are worried about, is they don't know what he's going to be, and there are technically other guys out there that have done it before. That's what it's not me. That's not me.
But
I just want to say it's not me.
Right, but what would be an example of one of those guys that's done it before that to most fans would be a better fit?
I mean, people have talked to me about Monty Williams.
No,
which
he lost 28 games in a row last year.
Well, that's on a really, really bad young Detroit team. That doesn't really count.
Right, but find me the last time another team lost 28 games in a row. And there's plenty of bad teams in the league. That's an all-time record. Ramona, why do you think fans are... I
have a very
We were
simple
both
answer.
at the presser, and I thought he was really impressive.
Okay. So I know we don't talk politics on this show, but I'm going to use a political analogy, okay?
Feel free.
There's always a line that people use when they talk about a candidate where people go, I'd like to have a beer with that guy.
Right.
Can I have a beer with that guy? Can we go out to the shortstop and order, a PBR or a Bud Light or something and have a good conversation? And I think that there's a quality about JJ where you don't feel like you could go have a beer with that guy, right? Like he'd probably order some fancy bottle of wine. Okay? I think it's the same thing with LeBron. Like, do you feel like you go have a beer with LeBron?
I mean,
yeah,
I would.
He'd probably order a fancy bottle of wine, right? Like, there's a quality about both of them that is not quite connecting with. Like, they're not talking about wearing their pants backwards, okay? Or they're not making fun of themselves all the time. Like, they're not showing. I know this is all not fair. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure I agree with it.
So
you think like with his perfectly coiffed hair?
No, but I mean when he does that podcast with LeBron, he's got a backwards baseball hat on, or
what you just said, doing the podcast with LeBron. I think that's actually the biggest part of all this for fans.
Are they drinking wine or beer?
It doesn't matter.
I think both, but
that's what it is. It's because
I think wine. I think it's always wine.
Yeah, probably. It's because he does the podcast with LeBron, and the people that are upset with it are probably in the same camp as I am, about ready to get through the LeBron experience. And now you're bringing in a guy that's LeBron's podcast partner to them and nothing else.
Listen, JJ's going to be a great coach. I'm telling you.
You're asking what
there
they're
are a
what
lot
they're saying,
of really good teams, other franchises that have no connection to him that were waiting for him to decide to coach. He's like Steve Kerr. People were waiting for him.
That's all well and good.
Yeah.
But the people that are upset, as the question was, is because he's LeBron's podcast partner. It's another thing. It's Bronny. It's bringing in his podcast partner.
Okay.
It's all of those things combined
I know,
that make people upset.
And it's overt, and the optics aren't great.
Sure.
All right. So Dwight Howard was on a podcast this week. And Dwight, of course, played with J.J. Redick. They went to the NBA Finals together in 2009. And so Dwight was asked, what do you think about all these moves that the Lakers are making? And here's what he said.
J.J. Redick, he just looks like a Pat Riley-ish type. He's starting off young, fresh with the hottest team in the NBA. Yeah. They got the best player in the history of the game. He's coaching him. This is the...
Have you ever heard him say that before?
Because
I ain't never... Hold on, hell no. No, hell no. We are not breezing over that.
I got a new
What's in that can, bro? Yo, bro, what you just say?
Best player in the history of the game.
All right, so he feels LeBron is the best player ever. Mason feels that way. Clinton Yates was here earlier today. He feels that way.
I think he might be.
So, okay, big picture. They've got LeBron. They've got Anthony Davis. They've got J.J. Redick. All right? Bronny is not going to factor into whether they win or lose next year. He's 19 years old. He's going to be in the end of the bench. What's with all the negativity?
I know. Well, and then so I have my could you have a beer with that guy take.
Right.
But I also think he is not Kobe. Like, I still think no matter what LeBron does here, he's not Kobe. And that is always going to plague him in Los Angeles. That's always going to be something he can't undo. He's just not going to be Kobe was here for 20 years. Kobe is like a saint in this town. You
Right.
still see pictures of him all over the place.
But
and there's something like bleed late purple
I'm going
and
to come
gold.
back at you a little bit on this because in the history of the Lakers, they've always had different stars,
Yeah.
and they've all been embraced. In the beginning, it was Jerry West and Elgin Baylor.
Yeah.
Then they traded for Kareem, and Magic came along. And then they got Shaq, and then they got Kobe, and then they got Pau, and now they've got LeBron and AD. There's plenty of room for different types of stars. Why would fans draw that line from he's not Kobe? Kobe wasn't Magic. Magic wasn't Kareem. Kareem wasn't Wilt. Wilt wasn't Jerry West. Jerry wasn't Elgin Baylor.
I know.
The Lakers have a history of bringing all types of different stars in. Why are we
I don't- but do you
poo-pooing the
think
fact that
LeBron-
LeBron agreed to come here?
Do you think LeBron is connected with the fan base here the way that he did in Cleveland, let's say, or the way that Kobe did, or the way that Shaq did?
I think Kobe played the majority of his career, and he started at a young age in the finals. He went to 7 finals with the Lakers. I felt a shift when LeBron won the title. I felt like he was getting more accepted.
I agree.
When they won the title. But when Kobe died, which was in the same year,
Yeah.
Kobe died and then they won the title. I think that threw everybody off their axis.
All right, so I think that with LeBron specifically, I know this sounds absolutely ridiculous, so
Okay.
just go with me here.
Yeah.
I think people got started the putting off of LeBron very, very early. When he got signed and he came over and he did this whole thing about, I'm going to be at this Blaze Pizza, and everybody waited outside.
I know, and there was no press conference.
And there was no press, and there was none of that stuff.
Yeah.
He thought it felt like to the city of Los Angeles and the people that were there that he was not embracing Los Angeles, and he was coming here to be in movies and things like that. So that started the whole thing. That's not the reason they don't like him, but that's what started it. It is what he did at the very beginning, and he's never doesn't seem like he's actually embraced LA fans or LA in general since that time.
I don't know how he could
I know.
embrace
I'm
them
not saying it's
more.
fair.
I mean, he moved his whole family here. He bought 2 houses. He's living in them. I mean, his kids are growing up here. They're all going to high school here.
He goes to high school games
Right.
here.
And in terms of obviously,
but he sits courtside and he doesn't talk.
But see, I would argue that, and obviously, I have an insider's look at this because I'm on their buses and I'm on their planes, and LeBron is actually more outgoing than even Kobe was. I mean, Kobe would put on his game face and he would just lock in and say, I'm going to beat you. I mean, that's all that matters to me. LeBron's a little friendlier.
But people saw Kobe grow up.
Yeah. Yep.
That's you
part
got
of
to
it.
see his whole career. You got to see the vulnerable moments when he airballs against Utah. You saw him at his best and his worst. You saw him kind of be very unpopular for a while, and then sort of redeem himself with the second championship, or the second round after Shaq of championships. I think he will never be able to. He's just not Kobe. Like Kobe, there was
I
not
think that
long
is
enough.
insanely unfair.
Well,
They didn't say it was fair.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean it's not true.
Yeah.
But
what is it? Like Kobe created the Mamba Academy, and they were having kids playing basketball here. He did something in the city of Los Angeles. I don't know if there is something that LeBron has done. I just am not aware.
Well, his
If he has-
Promise Foundation is back in Akron.
It's in Akron. It is
Yeah.
in Cleveland,
Which is fine.
Which is absolutely fine. It's
Yeah.
and again, true.
But you're
what-
asking the question: why is he not? Is he not as beloved as Kobe? Well, he
the-
came here later
what
in
has
his
he
career.
done
but that
for the
wasn't the
city?
question.
Yeah.
The,
What's
the
he
question
done?
I asked was,
Why
I
is
would
there
never,
hate?
I would never argue that he should be as beloved as
Yeah.
Kobe. What I want to know is, like, here's a top 3 all-time player.
Yeah.
He agreed to come here as a free agent.
Yeah.
He's putting on shows every time he plays.
Every time. Plays hard.
Yeah. Makes other people better.
Yeah.
Much better passer than I thought.
Yep.
Won
a title.
For a guy that was identified at a young age, he, most people that got identified at a young age, even
Yep.
Kobe, kind of stepping it somewhere along the way.
Yep.
He really hasn't. Like maybe the worst thing he's ever done was the decision,
yeah.
which really wasn't that bad. And yet people continue to get on him. I really feel like these Laker fans, and these are, like, Greg's a good example of this.
Yeah.
Greg's a Laker fan. would prefer if the LeBron era went away so the new era could start.
Correct.
I don't get that. I don't get why we don't.
I know. I don't either.
It's a Phil Jackson thing. Phil Jackson used to say, you got to live in the moment. You got to, don't worry about what happened before. Don't worry about what's happening tomorrow. The whole Zen thing. Live in your. I think we should be grateful that we've got this team and that guy willing to play here. And I met some guy that works for the Lakers the other day that we hired away from the Mavericks. He's one of the PR guys. And I told him.
Oh, I know this guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I told him. I said, hey, man, get ready, because the Lakers are either an unbelievable ride on a tidal wave, like you're a surfer and you'll never see anything like it. The highs are incredibly high, or it's just a crash and burn to the depths which you cannot imagine, and rarely is it anything in between.
Yeah.
It's either really, really good or really, really bad, and so it's never short on drama. And, Greg, one thing I don't think you're considering when you say I wish LeBron would move on is when he goes, we're not dramatic anymore. We just become the Oklahoma City Thunder.
You're
that's why
right.
What do I always say? Star-driven town.
Yes.
We need stars, and there's nobody bigger than him.
So I totally agree with you, and I do know that when he goes, it will be the same thing. This is always my point about it. If he goes now, which I understand all the cap spaces and the money and all that kind of
Unlikely.
stuff, whatever that is, he's not going anywhere. I get it. If for whatever reason, if you start the rebuild now, in 3 years when he would be gone, you'd be starting to build yourself back up and you'd be right back to where you're hopefully where you're supposed to be. It took the Oklahoma City Thunder, when they got all those draft picks, about 3 years with Shea to get back to where he's supposed to be. I'd rather start that experience now, because in 3 years, when LeBron is done and he retires, every place he's ever left at any time has went into shambles.
Right.
So do you want it to go in shambles now or go into shambles in 3 years?
I think if Rob Pelinka were sitting here with us, what he would say is, we're not going into shambles. If he leaves us, I'm going and getting another star.
I'm telling you how the rest of the league works.
All right, hold that thought, and we'll do it when we come back. We'll continue to talk about this. And also, I want to bring up the Bill Plaschke article. Bill's take on all this, Bill, the lead columnist for the LA Times, is that what happened yesterday when they drafted Bronny is unfair to Bronny, which I haven't heard anyone else say. We'll get into that coming up next. Momo, Ramona Shelburne, in for Mace. I'm John Ireland, ESPN LA.
Hey, listen to Sedano and Cap all week long for your chance to watch Saturday night's LAFC at BMO Stadium. Inside, call Jacob's Suite. When you hear producer Lindsay give you the cue to call, be caller number 7 and take the pop quiz on that day's show content. The winner picks up 2 suite passes and qualifies for the grand prize, VIP pre-match sideline passes with Jacob and Ronnie. Listen all week long to Sedano and Cap for your chance to win. And remember, call Jacob at 844-24-JACOB, 844-24-JACOB, or visit calljacob.com.
Starting Monday, September 9th, there's a new fall lineup on 710 ESPN, and it means the 9-hour LA Sports Mega Block begins an hour earlier. Even more live and local LA sports talk on 710 ESPN. The Travis and Sliwa Show will start at 9 a.m. Mason and Ireland move back to noon to 3, and Shidano and Cappy start the LA Afternoon Drive Takeover at 3 p.m. And then at 6 p.m., we are the destination for LA sports. It's a new fall lineup on 710 ESPN, and it begins Monday, September 9th.
June 30th, Copa America, Mexico, Ecuador. But that's in Phoenix. Mercado Northgate is taking care of you. We're going to have a VIP party down in Costa Mesa. Listen all week long to ESPN LA to figure out how you can get invited. We're going to have a party, we're going to get going, and we're going to cheer on El Tri. USA, USA. That's what you're going to be chanting July 1st when the red, white, and blue takes on Uruguay in Copa America. And where are you going to watch it? At the Mercado Northgate in Costa Mesa. Find out how you can get VIP access all week long on ESPN LA.
710 ESPN and the all-new ESPN LA app. This fall, the new home of the USC Trojans.
The new home of the USC Trojans.
The Trojans are back.
The USC Trojans play on LA's mega sports station.
That's right. USC football, USC men's basketball, and USC women's basketball are on 710 ESPN coming this fall.
710 ESPN, the new home of the USC Trojans.
On 710 ESPN, the OGs of LA Sports Radio, we're here each weekday, 1 to 4 p.m. for your afternoon. Sandwiched between Travis and Sliwa and Sonato and Cap. Mason in Ireland continues now.
Off from my city, off from my home. We're flying up no ceiling when we in our zone.
All right, Mason in Ireland, Momo's in for Mace. It's Momo's game today, and as you know, with Ramona's games, they're either, I was talking earlier about the Lakers, they're either really good or they're really bad. Which one do you think it is today?
I think it's a good one.
Okay.
I think it's good.
All right, so we were talking about the fact that the negative reactions to J.J. Redick, the negative reactions to Bronny James surprised me a little because I think we have it pretty good with our team.
Yeah.
They're a fun team to watch. They're a fun team to cover. The games in person are really fun. And for the most part, they've been competitive. I know they got knocked out by Denver, but I thought Denver was the one bad matchup. I honestly believe that they can compete in the West next year, depending on how things shake out over the next few days. Now, Bill Plaschke hates the direction the Lakers are going. He didn't think they should hire Redick. He didn't think they should draft Bronny. He's just been negative about all of it. He's not a fan of the current.
He's fired up.
Yeah, he's not a fan of the current front office.
Okay.
He's not a fan of anything Lakers. But he had an interesting take on the Lakers drafting Bronny yesterday, and I want to get you guys to react to it. And I didn't think he would go this direction. He starts by saying, they did it seemingly for the reason they do a lot of things, to keep LeBron happy. LeBron can opt out of his contract. They probably figured they need to keep him satisfied at all costs. But he says the highest price here will be exacted from Bronny himself. He says everybody can talk about the father-son combination and how it's historic. And, you know, Rob talked about that yesterday, that he thinks the chance the Lakers have a chance to make history. But here's what Bill asks. He says, quote, does Bronny really need this kind of pressure? Is it really fair to ask him to develop his game while sitting on the same bench as arguably the greatest player in the history, who also happens to be his father? I don't see any pressure here, Ramona. I don't think anybody expects it. Greg, you don't expect Bronny to be any good, right?
No, I don't think. I mean, he showed it in college. He's not very good.
Right. So what pressure? What am I missing here? Where is the pressure? They did this to give him an opportunity, and he's either going to sink or swim based on that opportunity. And it's weird because fathers have been doing this with sons in every business for as long as I've been alive. And why do you think Bronny's under an immense amount of pressure here?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's like if you're born into the Kardashian family, right? You have an opportunity to go be famous for being famous. And most of them choose that opportunity because it's very lucrative. But one or two of them have kind of stepped out of the limelight, right? Like Rob Kardashian doesn't really like being famous. And I think at one point he did like a sock line, but the rest of he opted out of that show and he opted out of life right away. Bronny did not have to choose to be a basketball player. He didn't have to choose to try. He didn't have to go along with it. But when his dad, said, I want to play with him, if he wasn't down for this, he could have said something anywhere along the way.
Right, and he's grown up. He's grown up in a fishbowl. He knows. I mean, his name is LeBron James Jr.
I know, and he if he didn't want to be in his dad's shadow, he could have played volleyball. He could have played soccer. Could have played anything else.
Right. Well, here's more from Bill's article. He says, Bronny won't just be learning on the job. He'll be learning on the fire. Even if he spends much of his time with the South Bay Lakers, the circus will follow him there. Having bravely overcome a frightening medical challenge, he deserves a chance to regain his footing in his own time, in his own space.
Yeah.
But why, if somebody offers you a job with the Lakers, what are you supposed to do?
It is what it is. Yeah, I mean, if he was worried about this, I think he would have said something by now.
Right. He said, Bill goes on, he says, Bronny has now been stuck under the brightest of lights amid the most aggressive of timetables, obstacle upon obstacle, and how fair is that? First of all, life isn't fair. Let's start there. And second of all, what do you mean stuck under the brightest of lights? He's been given a great opportunity here. He's not stuck. Nobody's expecting him to be an all-star.
Yeah.
We don't even know if he can play in the NBA. Why not give this kid a chance?
I mean,
Rob said it yesterday. If you weren't with us at the start of the show, Rob was asked, Mike Bresnahan asked Rob, why did you draft Bronny? And tell me if this sounds like they're going to put this kid under an immense amount of pressure. It sounds like they're going to let him grow, and they're going to be patient, and they're going to let him develop. Here's Rob.
I think first and foremost, he is just a young man of high character and extraordinary work ethic. And those are foundational things as you build a culture. If you can find young players that are built on those pillars, the development can come. And I know J.J. Redick and his staff are already putting a plan around Bronny and how they want to develop him into an elite two-way player. He's 19 years old, so everyone's got to be patient, but the foundations are there for him to be an important player for years to come.
I would argue, Ramona, that he's under less pressure than other people because, as Greg pointed out earlier, he's probably not getting cut.
Yeah.
If you have if you have that safety net under you, you can develop on your own time.
Sure, but that quote that Rob is putting out there doesn't actually talk about his basketball skills. And so being drafted 55 is totally 100% because he's LeBron's kid, not because of any basketball skills. They're talking about how JJ is there to develop him into a two-way player. Not that he's a good two-way player now, not that he's good defensively now, not that he's good offensively now. All of that Rob said had nothing to do with basketball ability.
Right, but using your words, all right, most 55th picks
had basketball ability.
No, they're not good enough.
Sure.
The overwhelming majority of them never make the league.
I don't mind the pick at 55, and I think most people don't actually mind the pick at 55.
By the way, completely different conversation if they would have taken him 17th. It would have changed everything, but they didn't. They took Dalton Knecht, who looks like he could be a really good fit. Looks like they kind of stole him. So I think all of that adds up to a good situation for Bronny. Bill paints this as a terrible situation, the worst.
Huh.
Why? I mean, he
I
said
agree.
nobody's expecting anything. They're going to let, and Rob just said it, he's 19 years old, let him develop.
I mean, look, I feel...
If he surprises you, great. If he doesn't, he's a typical 55th pick.
My dad always used to tell me, you never ask the coach to bat a certain spot in the lineup. Like, don't say, hey, coach, I want to bat third. I want to bat fourth. Like, if you're a good enough hitter, you'll bat third or fourth. You got to earn it. You don't ask for things. You just you play the game and let it shake out. But that's also, I mean, that's a really nice idea. But it's also just not how the world works, right? It's nice if you can earn it all yourself and you get picked on your merits and you get all that. So, a lot of time, you know who batted third or fourth most of the time? Probably the kid whose parent was asking him about third or fourth.
Right, or the coach's son.
Yeah, and if they suck, they won't bat third or fourth very long. But that's how it goes in this world. Like, you earn things. It's better. You won't have a long career if this is how you're going to get things. But this is how you get your foot in the door. It's up to you what you do with him. I kind of feel bad for him in the sense that we don't really know him at all. Like, he doesn't talk very much. He's given a few interviews, and he hasn't had a chance to just grow up in the spotlight. But I feel the same way about like Obama's daughters, right? Or Chelsea Clinton, who I went to college with, and got, you know, I mean, like, that's just what it's like being somebody famous's kid.
All right, here's a couple of tweets on this subject from Byron Pineda. People don't appreciate LeBron, and Greg probably hasn't paid for a ticket in a long time. That's true. None of us have.
No, that is exactly true.
But as a season ticket holder, it's great to have him here. I don't want rebuilds. The Lakers are not a rebuilding franchise. This one from Basil. I'm with Greg. Time to move on. We don't need to turn into the Los Angeles LeBrons. LeBron is going to get most of the attention, but they're more than just LeBron. The Lakers are a heritage franchise.
Yeah.
LeBron is going to be the main reason we win a title if we win it, but he might not even be the best player on our team at this point. That might be Anthony Davis. All right, we got Game of Games coming up in about 15 minutes. It's Ramona's game. Stay tuned for that. In the meantime, BBGO is the official game day snack of the Lakers. Mouth-watering Korean snacks and meals in minutes. Keep your freezer stocked with BBGO for a delicious meal. It's Korea's #1 food brand, and it's making the whole world more delicious. They like to say minimum effort, maximum flavor. Available at all major grocery stores in the freezer aisle. I get mine at Ralph's, but you can go to any grocery store, and they'll have this stuff in the freezer aisle. BBGO Mandu are the largest, juiciest dumplings in the market. Every day is the day to live delicious with BBGO, the official game day snack of the Lakers. Mason and Ireland. Momo in for Mace, ESPN LA.
Really excited to see the new schools come into play at the Coliseum. Obviously, you're going to have Notre Dame to finish the season. That's always a special game. But seeing Nebraska showing up, Penn State showing up, LSU at the Collie, that's what I'm really looking forward to.
I think both programs, the men's football program and the men's basketball program, are moving in the right direction. And the women's basketball program at USC is going to be ranked top 5 next year. So it's a great time for the USC Trojans to be back on ESPN LA.
I'm really curious to see, what does USC football look like without Caleb Williams? What are the adjustments that Lincoln Riley makes? And what is the defense going to look like in the non-Alex Grinch era?
New conference, new quarterback, just really fired up on the football side. New head coach for basketball, so almost like a really new team, which is going to be awesome. And then returning to prominence for USC women's basketball, to be back to where USC women's basketball is. I'm super excited to see Juju in her second year, but just the rest of the players continue to grow under Coach Godley.
This beautiful thing has been up since the first time SC was here. But guess what? USC is back! And once again, this means something for us. Pumped for this season. USC Athletics back on 710 ESPN.
June 30th, Copa America, Mexico, Ecuador. But that's in Phoenix. Mercado Northgate is taking care of you. We're going to have a VIP party down in Costa Mesa. Listen all week long to ESPN LA to figure out how you can get invited. We're going to have a party, we're going to get going, and we're going to cheer on El Tri. USA, USA. That's what you're going to be chanting July 1st when the red, white, and blue takes on Uruguay in Copa America. And where are you going to watch it? At the Mercado Northgate in Costa Mesa. Find out how you can get VIP access all week long on ESPN LA.
In Los Angeles, the #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles, and we thank all of our podcast listeners for that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason and Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
One-hit wonder, Katrina and the Waves.
Wow.
But this was a huge hit when it came out, though. Okay, so we're about 10 minutes away from Game of Games. It's Momo's game today. You got to hang around for this because Ramona's games are either the best or the worst. No, never in between. So today will be one or the other.
I wrote this last night at like 11:30 at night. So
beautiful.
Sometimes I think they're good, and then I show up and I read it in the morning. I go, ooh, what was I doing?
Okay, so I wanted to sneak this in here because it's an Effort Friday and we're talking about everything. When you guys were growing up, did you have an ice cream parlor that you went to? Mine was Farrell's. I don't know if you guys ever went to Farrell's when you were a kid.
Same place.
So if you ate the Earthquake, you could get the Earthquake was 8 different scoops of ice cream, and they would run it out to you. 2 guys would run it out on a stretcher, and they had like police lights on top of their helmets, and they would run it out, and they deliver the Earthquake, and if you finished it, they made a big deal. They rang a bunch of bells, and you got a big ribbon that said, I made a pig of myself at Farrell's. And so I was only able to eat the Earthquake once, but...
You actually finished it once?
I did.
Wow.
My brother might have helped me, but he didn't do much. I ate them. I probably ate 7, and he might have eaten 1. But the reason I bring this up is every day we're having conversations about AI, artificial intelligence. And how it is going to take over the world, and it's going to take all of our jobs. All right? So check this out. There is a new store opening up. It is an ice cream store that they're calling Dice Cream. Okay? So here's a picture of it. There's a dice, and there's your thing. There are no people working at the Dice Cream store.
I don't want to support this.
So you walk in, you order, let's say you want a banana split.
Yeah.
You want 3 scoops of chocolate chip, whatever it is. You punch it in like you would basically a coffee machine. It makes your sundae or whatever it is you have. You pick your toppings, pick it everything. It's like an assembly line. You go down, grab it, you go sit down, you have your ice cream. I can't decide. And by the way, just to give you guys some perspective on this, the average American makes their way through 4 gallons of ice cream a year. All right, so we all eat ice cream, most of us. I've always liked going to ice cream parlors.
Yeah.
I've always liked going to Farrell's, which I don't even know if Farrell's is still around anymore or not.
Isn't that at the Grove, maybe?
Maybe.
Yeah.
But these are autonomous ice cream parlors, these dice cream
I don't like it.
stores. You don't have to like it. Here's my question. Will it succeed or fail? People love ice cream.
Yeah.
So if Greg, we're at the mall. I got Jack with me. You got Riley with you. They say we want ice cream.
Okay.
We go into the ice cream store. We punch in our numbers. It gives us 4 sundaes. We go and eat them. As a business plan, will it work?
Yes. I don't want anybody to lose their job. If you're scooping ice cream, I don't want you to lose your job. However, I don't necessarily need someone to actually do the scooping of my ice cream.
Brian, what do you think?
I'm with Greg on this. I think it can work just for that fact that it's just scooping the ice cream. I don't think I could do without a human.
Yeah.
Right. If it's a bot, like,
yeah, but when things go wrong, they go wrong. It's like,
But like, what are they going to do?
There would be
Push
one
you a different
person
ice
there
cream?
when that
Oh,
happens.
no, I didn't want Rocky Road.
Right, for that reason. Like, there's one person there to refill the ice cream machines, and if you hey, this was the wrong thing. Okay, go back and do it again. We'll fix it. But there won't be, like, there's a place in Manhattan Beach called the Creamery, which is right down by the pier.
I know that spot.
It's a great spot. There's a line outside. Like, tonight's Friday night. It's going to be 80 degrees at the beach. That place is going to be packed. And so you go in. There's 6 or 7 people behind the counter scooping stuff up, and it's a fun.
Can I have a taste? A little spoon.
Right. It's a fun experience. Are people okay with giving all that up?
Yeah, I think they would be, but here's the thing. Have you ever read some of the stories about at the supermarket, how they have the automated checkout lines?
Right. Yeah.
They never work.
Well, wait a minute.
They gotta have somebody. Nobody can ever do it right.
Greg, I go to the automated before I'll go to the line with the person.
No, I only go to the automated one.
You go to where the person, you wait in line.
Always.
I hate lines.
Yeah.
So if
I'll
there's
do
like
it sometimes,
if there's an open register and it's like I know how to weigh all my stuff now. I buy bananas a
Oh,
lot.
it's so annoying.
But Ramona, it's great. You get in, you get out.
I don't know.
You only go where
I put
there's
it
a
in
person.
the bag and it doesn't register it. You gotta hit this thing.
But there's always somebody there to help.
That's what I'm saying. There's always someone there to help. There's all these stories that are written about automated checkout stores, right?
Right.
And most of the time, what they find is that people are too stupid to do it themselves.
Okay, so
like
think
you
about
can't. They like all these stores, like Walmart, all these places. They tried to get people to do their own checkout, and they never work. You just got to have somebody there.
So think about the day I had today. And, there's all these conversations about AI and how it's going to take everybody's jobs. I think it's a real thing.
It is a real thing.
This is the day I had today, okay? I get in my car. I drive to the gas station.
Okay.
I do not speak to another person. I get out of my car. I do the tap. I fill up the car myself.
Yep.
I'm good. My gas tank's full. Then I go to the car wash. There's a place in El Segundo, right by the Lakers practice facility, that is an automated car wash. Same thing. I drive. I do not speak to another person. I drive in, give them my credit card. I drive through the line. I get out. I dry the car myself. I vacuum the car myself, and I go. Then I went to the supermarket. I bought 4 or 5 things. I did not speak to another person. I paid them myself. So I did 3 things that used to involve multiple workers with 0 interaction with another human. I don't think it's good, but I think it's what's happening. I think it's the future. Think about when we go to the movies now.
I know.
Okay? You walk in, Greg, you buy your ticket at the kiosk, you go, you pick where you're going to sit, you go sit, and you watch the movie. I just went to a movie theater without having an interaction with another human being. If you think about this, that's why everybody's freaking out about AI. I just described 5 different experiences, none of which I interacted with another person.
It's the way that things are going, and it's actually sad because you are going to start losing. People are going to lose jobs, and they're not going to be able to get jobs.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is, it is. Like, I don't even go to the kiosk. I do it off my phone.
Right.
And when my phone's, like, that's where I get my movie.
But doesn't somebody have to scan your pass?
I can scan it in a scanner, like at the Regal.
Yeah, and
you
that's
just
what I
scan
did. You
in a
drive
scanner.
it, Ramona,
That's
you roll
it.
your window down, you tap your credit card, and by the way, I could pick from 5 different car washes. Like, if you want the one with all the bells and whistles, that's $25. If you want just
breaking news,
a quick one, it's $5. What's the breaking news?
According to Adrian Wojnarowski,
here we go.
Atlanta is trading DeJounte Murray to the New Orleans Pelicans.
For Brandon Ingram?
Brandon Ingram is going to be going in that.
Is it?
Doesn't say yet.
Okay, so that takes DeJounte Murray off the board.
Didn't we just talk about this a couple days ago? I'm just saying.
Yeah, yesterday, I think.
That's a big deal. Okay, so by the way.
Oh, Sham's way behind. It just came out.
That's
30 seconds late.
By the way, that's why stories like this, the thing Ramona just read, are going to come fast and furious over the next 48 hours. That's a big deal. And DeJounte Murray, now that it gets him off the Lakers' wish list. Do you think, by the way, that makes it more likely D'Angelo Russell might stay?
I think he might stay.
I hope so.
I don't think he has much of a- I don't think the
guy.
market is not strong.
Yeah, I know some Laker fans aren't, but I am. I'm a D'Lo guy. I hope he stays.
Yeah.
All right, coming up next, Game of Games. Ramona has the game. Greg, did you get somebody else to play?
I'm still asking. If not, I'll get DeAndre
I think I saw.
or Lindsay.
No, I think I saw Lindsay walk by. You can say something to her.
We'll get someone.
It's a fun game.
Okay, so Game of Games coming up next. Momo's game. And by the way, I won the month. Is that 3 months in a row for me? By the way, Bergman, you're slacking.
He says like he doesn't know.
No, I don't. It's either 2 or 3.
I feel like Brian Cohen got in there at one point.
Brian hasn't won a month yet.
Yeah.
So April, you tied with me.
'Kay.
And then you won May and June.
Okay, so I've won 3 months in a
All right,
row.
get it
Momo.
off to a good start.
Today starts June. Starts July because it's already over. Greg's the only one that takes this as seriously as I do.
Yes.
So I want him to raise your game. You're not embarrassed that I've won 3 months in a row?
No, I am. It's just I haven't been able to win recently.
All right, well,
it's kind of
pick up your
frustrating.
game.
Well, it's like
I
how
will.
many?
Hey,
You want to play a game of games?
Lindsay, will you play a game of games with us?
She said no.
Well, tell her she's playing. Screw
Okay.
you.
I'll get
playing.
DeAndre. I'll get DeAndre.
It
All
looks
right,
like
we'll
the
get
Pelicans
somebody.
are moving Larry Nance Jr. and 2 first-round picks to the Hawks for DeJounte. So not Brandon Ingram.
Really? Oh, they're going to do something else then. Wow, that's big for New Orleans.
Man, I love Larry Nance. He's such a good dude.
Yeah.
Oh, Cappy might be in.
Okay, we'll figure it out next. Game of Games coming up, ESPN LA.
Mario Ruiz. Join them at the Mercado Gonzalez Northgate Market in Costa Mesa for 2 separate watch parties. Mexico versus Ecuador on Sunday, June 30th at 4 p.m. and USA versus Uruguay on Monday, July 1st at 5 p.m. Head to ESPNLA.com to enter for your chance to win a reserved seating table and a bottle of tequila mandala at every table. Going to be a party at Northgate Gonzalez Market. Every visit has a story. Find a store near you at northgatemarket.com.
June 30th, Copa America, Mexico, Ecuador. But that's in Phoenix. Mercado Northgate is taking care of you. We're going to have a VIP party down in Costa Mesa. Listen all week long to ESPN LA to figure out how you can get invited. We're going to have a party, we're going to get going, and we're going to cheer on El Tri. USA, USA. That's what you're going to be chanting July 1st when the red, white, and blue takes on Uruguay in Copa America. And where are you going to watch it? At the Mercado Northgate in Costa Mesa. Find out how you can get VIP access all week long on ESPN LA.
Major announcement number 2. Well, with 10 days to spare on his current contract, after months of tireless negotiating, Cappy finally did the right thing and signed the deal. Congratulations to Cappy on a new multi-year contract that will keep him on the LA Afternoon Drive takeover for years to come.
Starting Monday, September 9th, there's a new fall lineup on 710 ESPN, and it means the 9-hour LA Sports Mega Block begins an hour earlier. Even more live and local LA sports talk on 710 ESPN. The Travis and Sliwa Show will start at 9 a.m. Mason and Ireland move back to noon to 3, and Shidano and Cappy start the LA Afternoon Drive takeover at 3 p.m. And then at 6 p.m., we are the destination for LA sports. It's a new fall lineup on 710 ESPN, and it begins Monday, September 9th. good.
Game of Games.
Game of Games presented by CallJacob.com.
Call Jacob.
Everyone loves a fighter, but in this town, winning matters, especially after an accident. So remember, anyone can fight, but CallJacob.com is here for you when you need a big win. After an accident, go to CallJacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. We got the jingle.
Call Jacob.
Thank you. Game of Games time. Take it away, Mace.
All right, no Mace today. Ramona in for Mace, and she's got the game. And we welcome to the show the one and only Scott Kaplan. Hi, Cap.
Hey, guys. How are you? What's up, Momo?
All right, hey, by the way, Cap, let me get this in before we start Game of Games. One of the first-round picks going from New Orleans to Atlanta in the DeJounte Murray trade is the Lakers' #1 next year. Remember, they had a choice.
Deferred it.
They could have taken it this year or next year. They kind of screwed up because had they kept it this year, they could have gotten Dalton Knecht. But they blew it, and they said, we'll put it off till next year. And now they've traded that pick to Atlanta.
Yeah.
So next year, assuming Atlanta hangs on to it, the Lakers' #1 pick, first-round pick, will go to the Hawks.
Right, but they got DeJounte Murray, so.
Right. So
that's 2025 pick.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, Momo. 4 players today: Brian
All right.
Cohen, Greg Bergman, Scott Kaplan, and me. What do we got, Momo?
Okay, so in honor of LeBron and Bronny James joining forces on the Lakers, we have a game about fathers and sons and Nepo babies.
Okay.
All
I
right?
wish I was one.
All right. So it's multiple choice. I'm going to read the question. Who wants to keep score?
I got it.
All right.
Let's go.
Number 1, father and son Tom and Colin Hanks have appeared in only one film together, and it was as a father and son. Which film did they star in? A, The Green Mile, B, The Great Buck Howard, or C, Road to Perdition? John, you're up first.
I don't think Colin was in Road to Perdition. What was the second one?
The Great Buck Howard.
I'll do that.
Okay. Greg.
Never heard of it, so I'll go with the Buck Howard one.
All right. Brian.
Yeah, let's go Buck Howard.
And Cappy.
Yeah, for the sake of just tying everybody, I'll go Buck.
All right. That's actually it.
Yep. Everybody.
You guys figured that out.
Yeah,
Okay.
I figured I saw the other two and don't remember Colin in those. Okay.
Father and son Will and Jaden Smith have appeared in a few films together. Which film featured Jaden's debut performance? Was it After Earth, I Am Legend, or The Pursuit of Happiness? First up is Greg.
The Pursuit of Happiness.
Okay, Brian Cohen.
I'll also go Pursuit of Happiness.
Cappy.
I will also go Pursuit of Happiness.
All right. And John.
Did I take a swing here? No, I think they're right. I think it is Pursuit of Happiness.
It is Pursuit of Happiness. Good answers. Okay.
Everybody 2 for 2.
HBO. We started off easy because I wanted you guys to get on.
Yeah.
Okay. These get harder now. HBO's The Idol. In HBO's The Idol, Lily Rose Depp is the daughter of Johnny Depp and which other celebrity? Is it A, Vanessa Paredes, Kate Moss, or Winona Ryder? First up is Brian.
Let's go Moss.
Okay. Cappy.
Winona.
John.
Vanessa Paradis.
And Greg.
That's where I was going to go, Vanessa.
It is Vanessa.
By the way, that Lily Rose Depp, that show's weird.
Yeah.
But that Lily Rose Depp is beautiful.
Is she good in the show?
Oh, yeah. Well, the show's weird. She's in it with The Weeknd.
Okay.
But you can't take your eyes off her. Every
Yeah.
scene she's in, she's really good.
Okay. And now I have a quote from a Nepo baby.
Okay.
I'm gonna read the quote. You're gonna tell me who said it. Ready?
Okay.
I really do feel that once your foot is in the door, which you unfairly got in, then you have to work almost twice as hard and be twice as good because people are ready to pull you down and say that you don't belong there. Is that from Miley Cyrus, Gwyneth Paltrow, or Chris Pine? I think we are back around to Cappy. Miley Cyrus, Gwyneth Paltrow, or Chris Pine?
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Okay. John.
Miley Cyrus.
Greg.
Miley Cyrus.
And Brian.
I like Miley Cyrus here.
The correct answer is Gwyneth Paltrow.
Cappy!
All right.
Yeah, she's the daughter of Bruce Paltrow, who created one of the great shows of all time, The White Shadow, and Blythe Danner. All right, so the score is Cappy 3, Greg 3, John 3, Brian 2. Very close so far.
Okay. This is really complicated. I don't know how you're going to get this. I have to read it really slowly.
Okay.
James Caan and son Scott Caan have both appeared in movies that were part of trilogies. James was Sonny Corleone in The Godfather, and Scott Caan played Turk Malloy in Ocean's 11, Ocean's 12, and Ocean's 13.
Right.
There was an actor who appeared in The Godfather 3 and all of the Ocean's movies, okay? an actor who appeared in The Godfather 3 and all of the Ocean's movies.
Have me go last.
Okay. Who is that actor? Carl Reiner, Andy Garcia, or Abe Vigoda? We are going to go to Bergman next.
Carl Reiner.
Brian Cohen.
Abe Vigoda.
Cappy?
Andy Garcia.
And John.
Cappy's right. It's Andy Garcia.
It's Andy Garcia. You knew that one, huh?
Yeah.
Andy Garcia was in all three of those?
He was in Godfather 3 and all of the Ocean's movies.
I thought he was only in one. Okay.
Okay.
Remember, he comes after they take all his money in the first one. He comes back in the other two to avenge the money.
Okay, let's get a score check.
Ireland 4, Kaplan 4, Bergman 3, Cohen 2.
Okay. Who is the famous acting nephew of Oscar-winning Godfather director Francis Ford Coppola? Is it Alec Baldwin, Chris Pine, or Nicolas Cage? This one goes to John.
Nicolas Cage.
All right. Greg.
Cage.
Brian.
Baldwin.
And Cappy.
Cage.
It is Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
This is John's game.
Cappy and I are tied now. And oh wait, no, Cap, I'm one up on you, aren't I?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, no, we're both tied. 5-5, 4 for Greg, 2 from Ryan. No,
I
Cappy
have
and I are
2
tied.
or 3 more. Depends on how many you want to do. Okay?
No, let's do 3.
Okay. Mamie Gummer, whose TV roles include The Good Wife, is the oldest daughter of which actress? Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Meryl Streep, or Emma Thompson? This one goes to Cappy.
I actually know this one, so this one's good for me. I'll say Meryl Streep.
Okay. Now go to John.
I agree with Cap. Meryl Streep.
Greg Bergman.
Meryl Streep.
And Brian Cohen.
Let's go to the last option. Was it Thompson?
Emma Thompson. Yeah. Should have gone with the crowd. It is Meryl Streep.
Okay, you had 2 left.
Did you actually know that one, Cappy?
Of course not.
I did. I was hoping you would miss it. You have 2 left, Momo?
Yeah.
All right, Brian, you're out.
And then you two have to go first.
Right. I have 6. Cappy has 6.
This one is really hard.
Greg has 5. Okay,
really hard.
I'll go first. Here we go.
It is an easy guess that comedian Ben Stiller is the son of comedian Jerry Stiller, but which actress is his equally hilarious mother? Is it Marion Ross, Elaine May, or Ann Mira? Who is this one to?
Me.
Okay.
I will go C, Ann Mira.
Okay. Over to Cappy.
May.
And Bergman.
I have no idea, so I'm going to go with John and Mira.
It is Ann Mira. John, you should have been a Nepo baby. You know all these.
My dream is to be a Nepo baby.
All right, we have to go opposite of John here.
Right, and this is your last one, and you have a tiebreaker if you need it, right?
Yes,
and I have to go first. Okay, here we go.
Who said during a tearful acceptance speech at the 2023 Oscars that her movie star parents never won an Oscar? Was it Kate Hudson, Sofia Coppola, or Jamie Lee Curtis? First up is John.
Trying to think of who would have been up there, but I don't remember. I'm going to go Jamie Lee Curtis.
Okay.
That's what I wanted. What were the other 2?
Kate Hudson or Sofia Coppola?
Who's up? Doesn't really matter.
Greg, go.
I'll go with Sofia Coppola.
Okay, and Cappy.
I'll go Kate Hudson.
John, you are just an honorary Nepo baby. It is Jamie Lee
There
Curtis.
it is! Damn! Victory!
That sucks, man.
Cap, what are you talking about? You were very good today.
I know, but at 5-5, if you go back 2 questions, Momo, it was the question about Ben Stiller's mom.
Yeah.
Now, I couldn't tell you what Ben Stiller's mom's name is. Jerry Stiller I had. Can you go through those 3 names again?
Marion Ross, Elaine May, or Ann Mira.
Do you guys know who Ann Mira is, by the way?
Not.
Okay, did any of you watch Sex and the City?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, remember Miranda married a guy named Steve?
Yeah.
She played Steve's mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
She's been around forever. She's passed away now, but yeah, I knew that one.
But wasn't Marion Ross? Wasn't that like the mom on Happy Days?
Correct.
Okay, so I knew it wasn't her, and then I've never heard of the other 2, so I took my shot. I should have just gone with John and taken it to the end, but.
I thought you were both very formidable, but once again, Bergman, you have come up short.
And I was one short. I was right there.
All right.
That was a good game, right?
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, really
Excellent
good.
game today.
Really
Brian
good
hit
game.
the super stager.
ESPN AM 710 Los Angeles. KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K256CX 99.1 FM Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger.
Super Crosstalk.
Are we ready for Sedano and Cap to join Mason in Ireland?
Super Crosstalk begins!
Super Crosstalk, presented by Coors Light. Coors Light, made to chill.
It's time for Super Crosstalk.
And we are joined by Scott Kaplan and George Sedano. Sedano and Cap. Sedano, how are we doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Excellent. But did you hear about the trade? The DeJounte Murray trade?
I did. I get alerts from everybody.
Okay, so
I'm aware.
Who do you think wins that trade? And if you're just tuning in, DeJounte Murray going from the Hawks to the Pelicans, Larry Nance and a bunch of draft picks going. Dyson Daniels is going to Atlanta. What do you think, George?
I like the New Orleans side of this.
Yeah.
Do you think, Momo, that this means they're keeping Ingram?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Not necessarily.
By the way, a couple other things I've heard today that we haven't had a chance to get to on the show. Both Ramona and I are being told, this is not official, but we are both being told that it is unlikely Russell Westbrook returns to the Clippers.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, it looks like, because I think they're going to try to bring in like a Kyle Lowry type or someone like that.
So if that's true, guys, does anyone else give Russ a deal? Or
somebody will give him a deal.
Name a team.
Yeah, I don't think so.
You mean like just name any team like on the planet?
That might like Russell Westbrook. I mean,
Well,
we've
but
heard
not
this before,
but
right?
not more than the minimum though, or something, or like a whatever the taxpayer mid-level is, or
Right.
something like that. Nothing
Yeah,
more
I
than
wonder if
that.
he would take that. He's a pretty proud guy.
I mean, he was a minimum guy this past go around.
Yeah,
But he had a real role.
and he was in
Until they
L.A.,
traded for Harden.
which is where he's from. I know the Lakers won't bring him back. It'll be interesting to see. Would the Warriors take a flyer on him?
No way.
He doesn't really fit into that culture, does he?
Not at all.
Miami?
Well, it depends on what he wants to do. Does he want to win, or does he want to, or does he want to play? Right? Like, I think that's the question. If he wants to play, he can go to a bad team. If he wants to win, he's going to have to take a role. He took a role, I thought, with the Clippers.
Right.
He only played like 20, 25 minutes most nights.
But I would never, if I were a championship caliber team, or if I thought I was close, I don't think I would take that chance on ruining my team chemistry by assuming that he could actually play his role. You're right, he did for the Clippers. Maybe it was the coach, maybe it was his teammates, maybe it was staying in L.A., maybe it was trying to stick it to the Lakers. I'm not really sure. But, man, I really don't want to take that risk.
He is.
I'd love to see him back in
polarizing.
OKC. I mean, personally, as like off the bench, I feel like if there's anything that team is lacking, they're lacking a couple of things. They're lacking size. They certainly have taken care of some of the other issues that they've had this offseason by adding Caruso. But I'd like to see like a Caruso-Westbrook backcourt with the second unit. I'd love to see that.
Well, here's the problem with I see where you're looking. The problem is he would be taking minutes away. Think about who's on that team now.
From who?
Lou Dort and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
No,
are
he
the
doesn't. He's playing a
starting-
20-minute role.
Wait
He
a
doesn't
minute,
take away
George.
minutes from those
Stay
guys.
with me here. Lou Dort and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander average about 30 minutes a game. Shai plays about 35.
Right.
Now they have Caruso. You got to find 20 minutes for him. Where are you finding minutes for Russ?
Oh, John, I did a couple of those teams' games in the playoffs, and there were definitely minutes that they could give both Caruso and Russ. Like, Josh Giddey was getting minutes. I mean, he's gone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, Josh Giddey during the season was getting a healthy amount of minutes. Now, he didn't get very many in the playoffs, so you can give Caruso those minutes. And they have, like, what's the kid? The Wiggins kid that they give a ton of minutes to.
Aaron Wiggins.
Yeah. And
Case and Wallace, they like him.
Well, Case and Wallace needs minutes.
I like that
kid can play.
Yeah, he's really good.
So I don't know. Well, you know, one thing, George, that you may be right about, he is beloved there. He is like, they love, not necessarily the team, but the city.
The city, yeah.
Just loves him.
I don't see it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Well, I don't think Sam would do it. I just said I'd love to see it.
Right.
I mean, the only team I could kind of think of would be Miami.
No.
Okay, so you know the Heat better than me. So go ahead.
I'd be
tell me
very surprised. Listen, the reason I would be very surprised is because Miami was interested in him. Remember when he was either leaving Houston or going to Houston one of those years. And I was told that someone who is very close to Pat Riley told him that's not going to work with him and Jimmy Butler.
Oh, yeah.
I can't tell you who, but I can tell you that someone
you know what,
is close
that
to
they
Pat
do
Riley.
need some offense. That's too bad because Russ kind of fits there. The Heat culture is guys that are workout freaks that are going to play 100 miles an hour all the time. Yeah. That's Russ. But George is right. He is a type A, eclipse the sun, dominating personality, and him and Jimmy would butt heads.
Could we see Chicago?
Yeah.
Could we picture him in Chicago?
The Bulls could use.
Just traded for Giddey.
Yeah, but he's not a scorer,
he's not
really.
that good.
Okay, but wait a minute. But I'm just trying. I'm looking at their minutes. Kobe White needs minutes.
Yeah.
DeMar DeRozan's probably going to re-sign.
If they
there.
still have Zach LaVine,
that's that. You're right. That's it. If the Zach is still on the roster, there's no room for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's and by okay.
The
so
Knicks?
no,
Would the Knicks do
George,
it
I'm
off
going
the
to
bench?
no. I'm going to George. I'm going to throw a weird one at you.
Okay.
At first blush, this doesn't work, but
if you say the Lakers, I'm going to stand up and walk out.
No.
Boston?
Okay.
No. Denver just traded Reggie Jackson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
not a terrible one.
They don't like playing Jamal Murray more than 32 minutes a game because of his injuries.
He also misses a lot of time, too.
Right. That may be he seems like kind of a Mike Malone guy. That may be something to watch. But
by the way, it's Michael, John.
Oh,
Don't
thank you.
that.
Yeah, well,
Jonathan.
If I would, George, if I would have said that in front of Michael, he would have corrected me. So thank you for doing it. The only thing, George, I'm not thinking
Maybe
about
Phoenix, I could see.
Oh yeah, but the only thing I'm
back with Durant.
Yeah, go. Oh yeah, good point.
Why not?
But wait a minute, go to Denver. Wait, George, go back to Denver.
Everybody plays with everybody again.
Go back to Denver.
Yeah, I like that one.
Okay. They want to give minutes for Christian Brown, but if KCP leaves, that might be it. Denver might be the one. If KCP and Christian Brown stay,
let's see.
I don't know where he gets his minutes.
I think Phoenix needs a point guard. Let's see what happens with Chris Paul. I could see Chris Paul go back to Phoenix.
Really?
Yeah, there would have to be some kissing of the ring, but I could see that they really missed him.
No question about
they
it.
They really miss him. I don't think they have the money to get him. I think he can get a mid-level somewhere.
Hey,
but I like John, Denver Nuggets. That's a great one, John, for Russell Westbrook.
Okay, but let me ask you guys about the Phoenix thing. Because George, you and Ramona, you've done a lot of Sun stories, and George, you've done a bunch of games down there, and I'm a big Frank Vogel guy. I know all the assistants there until they fired them all. George, who should we believe? Obviously, Wendy, Woj, and Stephen A. are not making stuff up about Kevin Durant wanting to go to Houston. And then Matt Ishbia comes out and says, no, we love Kevin Durant and he loves us. Somebody's not telling the truth. Who do you believe there?
I mean, what is the owner supposed to say there? Is
nothing.
My question.
He shouldn't have tweeted anything.
I mean, for sure, I would give you that. But if he's going to say something, what is he supposed to say in that scenario?
But again, nobody else, no other owners are out there tweeting.
No, agreed. Well, Mark Cuban tweets.
I thought it was good he shut that down.
He's not an owner anymore.
No, but he used to, is what I'm saying.
It was good to make his intentions clear because they weren't saying Kevin wants to go to Houston. They were saying Houston has an interest in Kevin. So it begs the question, well, would Phoenix trade him and would Kevin want to go?
The one thing that's throwing me off is Stephen A., when he went on that, Brian, see if you can find that, or Greg, see if you can find that where Stephen A. goes, I am reporting this. Kevin Durant, or Phoenix wants out of the Kevin Durant business right now. Stephen A. doesn't report it like that unless he's got it. Greg,
well, Phoenix is there could be a lot of people he's referring.
Yeah, here's what Stephen A. said. Listen to this.
Wendy, especially for you, I am reporting here.
Uh-oh.
Pay no attention to what Phoenix is saying. They want out of Kevin Durant right now. That's number one.
Wait, say that one more time. They want to trade
Durant.
Durant.
Pay no attention to what Phoenix is saying. They want out of Kevin Durant right now.
Wow.
That's number one.
Wow. Again, why do the Rockets do the deal, Molly? That's why I asked you. I was like, wow.
Number two.
Okay, go ahead.
Number two. Also, Houston doesn't want Kevin Durant. Ime Udoka may want him. But organizationally, they know that they are not there yet. So their plans are more long range. And they would prefer a Devin Booker, who they know it's a slim chance they'll get, but that would be their preference.
Cappy,
now I can do something.
I'm not giving an opinion.
All right, so Cappy, there's no way he sells that hard on it unless he's got it, right?
Yeah, but I'm trying to figure it out. Does he says that Phoenix don't believe Phoenix, they want out of the Kevin Durant business. So then Matt Ishbia comes out and denies that. So where is Stephen A. getting? See, I first assumed that Stephen A. got it from Durant himself. But I don't think that Durant would tell him, hey, they want to get rid of me, versus I want to get out of here.
Well, George, what's interesting here is Kevin Durant has said absolutely nothing.
No.
Zero. So
smart.
So Matt Ishbia said, we love Kevin Durant, and Kevin Durant loves us. Kevin Durant hasn't said that, Momo.
Right. I mean, and I don't think he wants to say anything on this. I mean, he's never been shy about tweeting.
Right.
Right.
He did tweet something. Hold on, I'll find it. But it wasn't about that. It was like someone, like some rando on Twitter was tweeting at him.
Which is
and
what he does. Yeah.
Right, and he went at him based off what was said. So that let me try to find
Momo,
it.
while George does that really quickly. So I've been watching Clipped.
Yeah.
And I believe that I'm through 5 episodes.
Okay.
There's
Well, then
6
you're
total, right?
you're caught up.
Right. And when is the has the 6th one already dropped?
No,
Monday night.
Yeah, Monday at
Monday
9
night.
p.m.
Okay, Monday night. Okay, so I think I'm completely caught up now.
Yeah.
Really liking it.
Thank you.
Yeah, really, really liking it. Man, how much of it, I'm just curious, like if you've put a percentage on this, how much of it is like truly like factual versus like what percentage is like just sort of, added to for the sake of dramatization?
I mean, I don't think there's all that much that's really made up. I think sometimes you have scenes where they have to make up some dialogue to get you to the place where they were.
And they took some liberties, Cap. In other, it's probably my favorite show on TV right now. I'll give you an example. DeAndre Jordan never had a lizard.
Right.
Okay, that was Dwight Howard used to have 20 lizards. So they said let's make the Dwight Howard or the DeAndre
or
Jordan
like there's
character.
3 composite characters, right? There's Shelly's friend is a composite character.
Okay.
So there was probably
so is
5,
V's friend, right? That
and
girl
V's
that's
friend
so
Deja
good.
is a composite character.
Should I text JJ and ask him if he ate a baked potato every day?
No, that was the
asked
first
him.
question Mason asked him when he came on with us.
Yeah.
He said no, but he goes, that was a tip of the hat to, I had a very set routine.
Yes.
And the only time my food didn't arrive from room service at exactly 4:30, I shot 1 for 15.
Right.
So
he did eat every day at the same time.
Right. So that's what they took that from.
How about the bus scene a couple episodes back where they're like, they're all kind of doing like freestyle raps?
I think that's made up.
Okay, got it.
I think that was made up.
All right, so Cap, if you're caught up, let me ask you this. The 4 main characters, I think, all completely nail it. Lawrence Fishburne as Doc, Jackie Weaver as Shelley, Ed O'Neill as Donald, and Cleopatra Coleman as V. If you could only give one Emmy, if they were all in the same category for best performance, who would you give it to?
Probably for me, I'm biased here, but I'll give it to Lawrence Fishburne.
Nothing wrong with that. I could easily.
Yeah.
I think I'd give it to Cleo, the girl who plays
She's
V.
amazing.
Who would you give it to, Momo?
I don't know.
That's a hard question to ask.
I think Cleo's amazing. I'd probably go Ed.
Yeah.
I go Ed. I think he's just like unbelievable as Donald Sterling.
Yeah,
and it's a tough character, like to really inhabit somebody that just like
yeah.
He really went for it, and he makes you care. Like I like the scene in episode 5, which you just watched, where he kind of tries to explain to Shelley what he was saying, what he was trying to say. Like the world has changed.
It's the way of the world.
It's the way of the world. That was, and if you listen to Let's Talk Clip, you'll know his explanation. That was a scene that Ed said to the writer, hey, there needs to be a scene where Donald explains himself. He needs to explain himself to somebody. Like, what was he trying to say there?
Right.
And that's the scene they wrote for him.
So episode 4 was the flashback scene, right?
Yep.
And then episode 5, just give me a 10-second how you would call a synopsis other than what you just said about Ed.
The Barbara Walters interviews.
Right.
Episode
Okay,
5
got
was
it.
my favorite.
Barbara Wawa.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Barbara Walters.
And episode 6 coming Monday night. And by the way, Kelly Aucoin, who plays Andy Roser, Dollar Bill from Billions, is going to join us on the show either Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah.
We're nailing it down. But we got that coming up. Coming up next, Sedano and Cap. Have a great
Where are you guys
weekend,
going?
everybody.
Yo, where are you going?
ESPN LA.